Hey everybody, it's finally Friday night.
Yep.
The last Sidetracks. Well, I was going to say it's the last Sidetrack show before Christmas, which I guess it technically is. But we're also going to do like a special Christmas special Sidetracks.
Yeah, we're just going to hang out.
On Wednesday night, because I was like, man, I don't want to have to like research a topic like on Christmas. Come on now. So yeah, that would be a lot more fun to do. But yeah, we're still going to do a movie review on Monday too. Mm-hmm. Which will probably be a Christmas movie. Christmas horror, probably. Although, I saw a really good Christmas horror movie. I'm going to put a review of it up on Sunday, I think.
What was it called?
Hosts.
I don't know anything about it.
It's from 2020.
Okay.
Actually, I'd seen it before. It's British.
Yeah.
I'd seen it like when I was scrolling through Tubi and stuff like that, but I didn't realize it was a Christmas horror movie because it doesn't look like one. But then I saw it turn up on somebody's best Christmas horror movie list, and I was just kind of like, oh, maybe I should. That sounds kind of good. And wow, it was really good. I really liked it. It was pretty, kind of fucked up a little bit.
Yep.
Kind of fucked up. Yeah, Phantom says Christmas horror double feature. We'll see. We'll see if we can find... Man, I just feel like... Because when I was looking for something to do... Because I did a couple Christmas horror books. And I wanted to do at least one Christmas horror movie. And then I was like, well, I don't want to watch a shitty one. So I was just kind of going through like all the Rotten Tomatoes lists and all that other kind of stuff, like the highest rated ones. And, like, almost all of the highest rated ones, I'm like, already did that one, already did that one, already did that one. Like, I'd done, like, almost all of them. So I was just kind of like, well, shit, I'm running out of Christmas movies, you know? And they're not releasing enough good ones for me to catch up. Well, that's not true. There's, like, some good ones that have come out recently. But, do I like Christmas Evil? I remember that one being pretty good. I think we did review that one a couple years back. But yeah, like I said, we've done fucking...
I don't remember it.
We've done fucking so many Christmas horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, CB said, so you're doing an episode on Christmas Day. Yeah, it'll be like Christmas Day night, you know? Because at that point, I mean, we'll have already opened presents. And
yeah, already eaten.
And already stuffed our faces and everything like that.
Yeah, I got a ham.
Got a ham.
Yeah, we're going to have ham.
And got all kind of... Tom went to Sam's today and got all kind of desserts and shit like that.
I had to get 2 gallons of fucking heavy whipping cream. That's for the ice cream maker.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That's gonna be good.
And I got all the Christmas presents. I got all my Christmas presents wrapped today. Which wasn't, I mean, it wasn't that many really. It was just stuff for you and stuff for the cats, and that's about it. Broly said Satan's Little Helper is a good one. I actually saw that one on Joe Bob.
Yeah.
I watched that one on Joe Bob on Shudder. Like, so it's a lot more fun with him like watching it. And they had like what's her face, Darcy the mail girl on there, but just like the killer in the movie, who just wears a mask and doesn't say anything. She just had that same mask on and like didn't talk like the whole time. Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny.
So, if anybody's new from the show and we're listening to recorded, this is a Sidetracks edition of our show, which is on every Friday, and we're just gonna help drink you into the weekend. Sometimes we go out on Friday, sometimes we usually go out on Saturday.
Yeah.
So work week's over, so we just sit around, chill, answer questions, talk about shit, and drink.
Yeah. It's super fun.
So it's all regulars in there right now.
It looks like, right? I mean, these are always like the funnest shows to do, I think.
What are they saying?
Lots of stuff. Elysium was saying Krampus all the way. Okay. Yeah, that's a great one. Watch Better, Watch Out. Yeah, that's a great one. I think we reviewed that one several years ago. But yeah, Better Watch Out is really, really good. I've seen that like 2 or 3 times. I think I watched that a couple years in a row. Let's see. We saw Santa's Sleigh at the Horror Film Society last week. Next week's special screening of Anna's Apocalypse. We reviewed Anna's Apocalypse, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we reviewed Santa's Sleigh, though. I liked that. Anna's Apocalypse was kind of like a weird zombie horror comedy musical. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't see it. So.
Yeah, we saw it.
Which one was this?
It's called Anna and the Apocalypse.
I don't remember.
It's a Christmas movie. It doesn't sound like it, but it is.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, we did a review of it probably 2 or 3 years ago, I think.
It didn't stick with me.
Like, I'm sure you'll... Yeah, it was... I didn't love it, but it was pretty good. Like, I thought it was a cute concept.
When you get to be my age, man, it takes a lot to make an impression on you. I mean, some movies I remember.
Yeah.
Other ones I don't like Heretic. I remember that one. That made a pretty big impression.
Holy shit, that was so good.
Yeah. And then The Substance.
Yeah, that was
fucking
that
wild
was also
too.
really good.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of good fucking horror movies came out this year. I'm jacked about. Ooh, Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Starts not. I don't think it starts this weekend. It might start next weekend.
Starts Christmas.
Or next Thursday. So yeah, it starts Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're gonna have to go see that. And
We
then
can see it the
next
next
week
day.
then. Yeah.
We can see it the day after.
I'm super excited about that. I think that's gonna be really, really good.
Yep.
I'm sure that's gonna turn up on my list of best movies of the year. I'm also gonna do for my Scare Salon channel. I'm going to do all you British people will know that back in the 70s, the BBC used to do a ghost story for Christmas, and they made like a short film, like an adaptation of usually like a classic ghost story, but the later ones were kind of more modern. And they did 8 of them, like between 1971 and 1978, and Shudder added all of them. So I watched them all and reviewed them all. So I'm gonna put a video. I think that one. I'm probably gonna put that one up like on Christmas Eve. I think because it's probably gonna be long, like a long video. Not long, but probably like an hour. I'd imagine.
I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm fucking tired. And then I had to go out and do all this fucking run these errands today.
Yeah, it seemed like today was like a fucking man. It's like I said, I was wrapping presents. I was just kind of like fucking. So I was washing all the sheets. I was like taking all this big bags of garbage out. I was just kind of like. I had all this like design shit I had to do, and it's just kind of like I don't know. I just felt like I was worn out,
I woke up in the middle of the night because fucking Battle Beyond the Stars gave me a nightmare.
I was just gonna remind you about that.
Beyond the Stars.
I'm like, please don't forget that because he told me about the dream that he had because we just rewatched Battle Beyond the Stars like the other night because we were just farting around and we were just kind of like, why not? So we just put that one on because it was
I didn't understand it at first, but then I thought about it and it made a lot more sense what the dream was. I had a dream I was like a 12 or a 13-year-old boy, but I don't think I was me. I was like another boy. And I was laying in bed face down, fucking burying my fucking face in the damn pillows. And next to me was another boy, same age. He was doing the same thing, hiding underneath the sheets. And fucking I looked over my shoulder out to the other side of the room, and there was a hallway that came into the room. And I saw that guy from Battle Beyond the Stars back there.
Robert Vaughn,
the
actor.
Yeah, dressed in that costume.
Yeah.
And he fucking points at me like that. And his forearm disconnected. It was this metal forearm, and it had fucking red orbs like anti-gravity shit. And it started fucking slowly coming across the fucking room, down the room at me, coming right towards me. And at the end of the finger, it zoomed in, like the camera zoomed in, and it had a needle in there, like something out of, like Princess Leia, with Star Wars with the torture droid. Had that on there. So I'm like, oh shit, and we were trying to stay as still as we possibly could, praying that he couldn't see us.
Even though obviously he probably saw you because he launched his little needle.
Yeah. His forearm is it's like blue, metallic blue forearm, like a robot arm coming in. Real fucking slow, and because it was so slow, it was real fucking creepy. It woke me up.
Yeah, Tom was like, and he was like,
wow,
I just had the most fucked up dream.
Yeah,
it was like 4 a.m. or something like that. I mean, I was awake anyway because I had to pee, but then you were telling me about it.
There was another one, but I don't remember it.
And I said, you know what? It's like when you're talking about it, I said it kind of sounds ridiculous when you talk about it, but I was like, no, that's like legit creepy. I think if I had to dream that, I thought that'd have been really, really creepy.
The reason why I was a boy is because I saw Battle Beyond the Stars in the theaters. And I must have been, 12 or 13. Probably about 12, 13. That was 1980 maybe? That was probably about 13.
I think it came out in
12 or 13.
Yeah.
And then so that was how old I was when I saw it. And Robert Vaughn was in it. So it was and the room that we were in was not a bedroom. It was a bed in a bedroom on a spaceship.
Yeah,
he was in space.
Yeah.
He was in a spaceship, yeah.
You forgot to mention that.
It's all black walls and shit, yeah. Yeah. Well, I used to stay over at my friend's house, and they'd have 4 or 5 of us over there. We'd fucking all hang out and watch those movies all night at around 12, 13 years old. Sitting up in fucking his mom's his parents' big old fucking king-size bed with that huge TV. Mostly during the day and shit, but while they were at work. And fucking we'd watch some old movies like that. So I think it was a reenactment of that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, hanging out with your friends. You know, and they'd spend a night. You know, I mostly spend the night over at David Key's house in Mississippi. A big old house and everything. looked like the house out of Poltergeist. It's like that kind of house, which was new back in those days. That's an old house now.
Well, yeah. That's like super funny. But yeah, when you told me that, I was like kind of creeped out. He has some weird ass dreams. I have some weird ass dreams too, but he has some weird ass dreams sometimes.
About half the time, I'm not me in my dreams.
I'm not either. I'm not either.
Yeah.
And I said the weird thing about it, I don't know if this is because I'm really into horror movies and I'm also a horror writer, is that even if I have dreams that have like horrifying imagery or something like that, they don't usually upset me because I'm not I'm removed from it. Like it's almost like I'm watching it in a movie.
Yeah.
Or I'm aware that it's a dream or something. So I never feel like personally involved in it.
Yeah, usually I'm somebody else, or it's happening to somebody else and I'm watching it. A lot of times when it's me in the dream, if I'm the subject of the dream, or I'm the one, I'm there, like first person, I'm young. I'm either a teenager or I'm in the army. A minority of the time, maybe 10% of the time, does the dream take place in present time. It's usually the past. It's just weird. I don't know why. Maybe so much of your personality's formed during those days.
Excuse me, I just sneezed. I didn't want to do it in the middle of what you were talking. Yeah, I wonder about that. And we were talking about that the other day because I said, it never really occurs to me when I'm dreaming that I always just feel like I'm either me or I'm somebody else. You know what I mean? I'm just like a random ass point of view.
A lot of times it's in the past.
I don't usually have dreams about the past, honestly. Good. Like every now and then, like I'll dream about something that, and like someone from the past will be in it, but they won't usually have like a huge role or anything, Yeah,
the neighbor's playing bass.
Yeah, can you guys hear that?
You can hear it. It's that same motherfucker.
I was just gonna say, he's not even the neighbor. He's two houses down. And he plays it so loud that like it rattles the walls.
Yep. He's having a concert, just him.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
He's a real dick.
Yeah.
And everyone complains about it. Mm-hmm. Like as soon as it starts up, like you can go on the Facebook group or on Nextdoor, and everybody's like, "There he goes again."
I think I think legally he can do it till 10.
Yeah, but he usually goes past that, to be honest. Because I thought that too, but still, I mean, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. You know what I mean? I would never. It's just like, it's just so obnoxious. It's like nobody wants to be sick. Because a few times I've been sitting in the bedroom, like watching a movie or something, and that shit is so loud that it drowns the TV out that I'm like 10 feet from. And he's two houses down. Yeah. I don't give a fuck if it's 10 o'clock. That's rude.
They're asking questions in there.
Yeah, he's definitely... So hopefully it's not going to be too disruptive. Yeah. Put shit through his letterbox. We don't really have letterboxes here. But put something in his mailbox, maybe. Like a big pile of shit. Or something like that. I'm sure... I don't know why... Because I'm sure if you live right next door to him, that's probably even more obnoxious.
Yeah. Vampire said that I look like Ming the Merciless.
Yeah. You do, kind of.
Yeah.
You do, kind of.
That was the sexiest bald motherfucker you can imagine. I'll tell you what. Fucking, what was this? Max von Sydow
played him in the movie.
Yeah, that dude was old when he was young, and he could be whatever age he wanted. Because he looked ancient in Conan. He looked even older in fucking in The Exorcist.
Well, they made him look old. They put old age makeup on him in The Exorcist.
Yeah, and that was years before Flash Gordon. He shows up in Flash Gordon, man, he's all fucking dapper in his fucking red and gold military outfit with his hair and his hair shaved off and his fucking his beard and his mustache. He looked good. It was a great role. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah. The thing is that his mustache had big, long, like whiskers. Came down like a catfish whiskers. They looked like something out of a Chinese cartoon.
Yeah.
And then his beard, I think, went down to 2 points. Was it 2 points or 1?
I thought it was 2, but it's been a while.
I think it might be 2, yeah.
Man, can you imagine that would just be like falling in your soup all the time?
Yeah.
It's like so impractical. I think about this kind of stuff. It's like you're trying to eat a sandwich and there's like hair like laying on top.
That was a
like
wild flick, man.
Yeah.
I liked it when it came out because I liked Star Wars and I thought that was kind of racier than Star Wars. It had sex and drugs in it, and just weird shit. You know what I mean? Fucking perverted shit. Like it's implied that Ming and his daughter had a thing going on.
Yeah.
And he was going to sell her to the Gestapo. What was his name? Fucking Clytus. Remember that? Clytus was going to. Says, you know, if I kill Gordon, you're going to give me your daughter. It's like, yeah. They were just all perverts.
Okay.
they were all perverts.
Sure. You can have her. Yeah. Have your way with her. Why not? Let's see. Oh. Burley said, have you ever dreamed of a person you never met? Does your brain just invent people?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, sometimes you have a dream and you're like, oh, I was somewhere with my friends. But then when I wake up, I'm like, who the fuck were those people? I don't know those people. What's
weird is that you will invent dialogue for them.
Yeah.
And they'll disagree with you.
Yeah.
And you can actually get in fights. You're trying to kill each other. And it's just you.
That's your NPCs.
Yeah, that's what powers a poltergeist.
Yeah.
That's why poltergeists are what they are. It's just a part of your mind, a part of your consciousness that's kind of become a character. A fake ghost, basically.
Yeah.
Recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis.
Yeah. And
you can't do it if you think that you're doing it. You have to have plausible deniability. You have to believe it's an outside force, a ghost, or a jinn, or something. Because the Middle East has it too. They would just call it a jinn, though. They wouldn't call it a poltergeist, and it would probably do what they expect a jinn to do.
Now, Elysian lives near us because they said they drove by our house the other day.
Oh, yeah?
They said, I know who you're talking about. He needs to shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't understand. Like, everybody complains about him every single time. And evidently they've made, like, official reports and shit like that, but nobody ever does jack shit.
Well, he's on the housing committee.
He's on the HOA.
He's on the HOA.
That's why. And everybody's just like...
He need to get his ass off the HOA.
Well, yeah. And then, like, shut the fuck up, man. Yeah. Nobody wants to listen to that crap.
He gets drunk and does that.
Well, I get drunk too, but I don't do that kind of crap. You know what I mean? I want everybody in the neighborhood to hear my music.
Phantom's asking questions. People getting good questions. Phantom asking what I thought of the drone shenanigans. Okay. I think it was a mass panic. All this stuff about them looking for like a fucking missing Ukrainian nuclear bomb from the Cold War. I don't believe that's what it was. I believe what happened was a lot of people own drones. A lot of people own real good drones, especially in the areas that they're talking about. So I think they were flying them at night, putting lights on them, and they got reports. So other drone pilots started to do the same thing, and it became like a wave of drone pilots trolling people. They're trolling. Because some of the videos that I saw of the supposed fucking drones they were not UFOs. They were just fucked up. One of the ones is it shows some lights in the sky moving around, and I go, yeah, that's probably a quadcopter drone with some lights on it. And then you see white stripes going up, and I could see the trajectory, and they were coming from different locations. And I said, and they were white. I said, that's some kind of civilian tracer rounds. I could tell by the trajectory and how long it took for tracer burnout to happen. It says that's 5.56, because I used to shoot so much 5.56 in the Army with tracers that I know when the tracer is supposed to burn out. I know what the arc looks like from a lot of different. If you point it up, I can tell you what the arc's going to look like. But it usually takes about 2.5 seconds, maybe 3 seconds for the tracer to burn out. 2 probably. Well, actually, if you're lobbing up in the air, it's going to be about 3. And I could see. So what that was is it was somebody with a cell phone, one guy with a drone, and they're taking pictures of the drone, and 3 or 4 guys with AR-15s, magazines loaded with tracers, shooting fucking civilian tracers, which you can buy them. Mil-spec tracers for the U.S. Army are usually red. Soviet ones are green. The Soviets don't have 5.56. They use 7.62 AK rounds, and the trajectory looks different because it's moving slower. So it was a hoax. one of the videos I saw is obviously a hoax. So, you know.
Kind of reminded me of that whole clown sightings thing that
Yeah.
started in 2016 where everyone was suddenly seeing killer clowns everywhere and there's going to be a clown purge and all that. I think we talked about that on the Halloween show.
Let me get us some ice.
Yeah, because my shit's all melty. Might want to, like, top it up a little bit, too, but... Omri Vampire said, I've met 3 people in dreams who I later met in real life a few months later. That's pretty freaky. I don't think that's ever happened to me. Like, Tom has said that he's had a couple dreams that kind of came true later, but I don't remember that ever happening. Most of my dreams are, like, really, weird. Like, too weird to happen in real life. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really make much sense. The one that I probably said it on the show, but, like, the one where I thought that my ex-husband had, drugged me, that one was kind of strange because it was pretty coherent. Like, it had a beginning, middle, and an end, kind of. Like, it had an actual story to it, which most of my shit doesn't. It's just kind of all over the place. But I have got a lot of good ideas for some of my stories, like, from fucking weird-ass dreams that I had. And so I always, if I have, like, a really fucked up one, like, I always write down the details, like, really quick, because I'm like, ooh, I'm going to turn that into a story later. Because I've done that a bunch of times. Let me see. CB said, my girlfriend dreamed about a guy not leaving her alone at the bar, and she didn't go that night. And one of her friends got killed by a serial killer. She looked like my girlfriend.
Huh.
That's pretty fucking freaky. Yeah, that was like the universe like telling her something. Although it's sad that the one that actually got killed didn't have that dream. But, you know. Zach says, I kept having dreams about meeting my ex in public and talking out what happened with us randomly for several months, and then it actually happened. I don't, like I said, mine are just kind of, they're either super, super mundane, or they're too strange to happen in real life.
There's all kinds of interesting stuff up there. What people said.
Tammy's just talking about living in the middle of nowhere, because you don't have to, let's see. Murder Hornet said, had a dream people are trying to kill me. I think that's pretty common. Let's see.
Even Jenny has those.
What? I had a dream.
People trying to kill you, dude, in the house with a bat. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was, well, that was kind of like a,
yeah.
What do you call it? Like a, what do you call those things?
Waking dream? No, a sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis. That was the only time I've ever had sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
But the weird thing about it is that I knew what it was, like, almost instantly.
Yeah.
Because in real life, if I'd have woken up and seen a dude standing in my bedroom door, this is when I lived alone, with a baseball bat, I'd have, like, you know, screamed my fucking head off, right?
Right.
But I woke up and I saw him there and was like, oh, that's not really there. Like, I immediately knew it wasn't there.
Yeah. I've had that happen too.
But it was pretty freaky, like, anyway. But
yeah,
for a second.
I opened my eyes one time to see the wall next to me, next to the bed. I was having sleep paralysis, and a face came out of the wall that looked at me, which you would think that'd be terrifying, but I went, that ain't real. And then it went away. And
kind of
went
like
back
in Nightmare on Elm Street, where Freddy comes out.
No, it looked like from that cartoon, The Wall. From
Yeah,
Pink Floyd,
yeah,
The Wall.
I know
It looked
what
kind
you're
of
talking
like that. It was coming out real slow, like it was screaming.
Talking about.
It didn't look real. And I was like, I'm dreaming. What else they saying?
Zach says, apropos of nothing, but what's a good way to get over the angst when you start a new relationship? I'm not really sure you should be having. What kind of angst are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I'm not. Maybe if you have angst, that's maybe somebody telling you that's not a relationship you should be having.
No,
I don't know. I don't know what the situation is.
You have to kind of be indifferent at first. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. If it doesn't work out and you lose it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, it's kind of a hard line to walk because I'm kind of a person that I have a tendency toward anxiety and toward overthinking things, and I'm trying to, like, get better at that. But on the flip side of that, I don't want to become just some cold motherfucker who doesn't give a shit about anything, because that would be really depressing, too. So it's like I'm trying to, like, kind of do a middle ground.
Yeah.
You know?
I was never really totally cold, but when Jen met me, I was very guarded. But even though I had a lot of fucking street savvy, you know, a lot of time in clubs, I could tell who was a good person and who was a bad person. Like, I knew Jen immediately was a good person.
Yeah.
You know, I trusted her pretty much immediately.
Well, and you were right to. I wouldn't, like, you know.
Yeah, just the energy that came off of her.
Yeah. I think everybody knows that. Like, I think that's why people, even when I first meet people, they tend to be like very open with me and very, because they know I'm not gonna fuck them over, because I just wouldn't. You know what I mean? I don't do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and our relationship happened very organically. It was really easy. Just one thing happened after another. We were just getting along. Yeah, we couldn't really stay apart, even though we were dating other people. We'd still just hang out.
Yeah.
And fucking, we'd be like, you know. But we were still having a fucking good time, you know. Then eventually we started dating.
Yeah.
Even though we had hooked up a couple times.
Yeah, just off and on. Over
yeah.
the years.
So it's kind of proof. I'm not jealous. I wasn't really, you know what I mean, out to fucking possess some woman or anything, you know. Jen had just come out of a divorce. And a lot of people that knew us, you know, fucking kind of think, my man, let her play the field for a while, man. She's been married. You were married for what? Fucking 14 years?
14 years, yeah.
Yeah. You don't want her to fucking get serious about the first dude she fucking falls in with. But the thing is that, you know, just it's hard to beat nature. It's just kept working out too much, so there's no reason to be apart.
Yeah.
So we just said, yeah, we're a thing now, and everybody was like, well, fucking finally, we knew you we knew you all were a thing.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I thought was so funny, that when we finally got married, and I just put, you know, we didn't make a huge deal about it, but I just put the picture up on Facebook, and like we got like hundreds of comments, and like most of them were like, finally.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you people.
Yeah.
But yeah. Burley says, I'm 10 years younger than Tom, and he looks like he could be my younger brother, LOL.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
He's like, that's right, I look good.
When you think of when a person thinks of a 55-year-old dude, they're not imagining me. You know, they're imagining like Scott, our friend Scott. That's what they're, you know, that's what they mostly look like. It's partly genetics. HRT, man. When I started hitting that decline, I just started bumping testosterone. Got in the, and I went back to my roots, which is to be in fucking training. I love to be in training, like being in, like, you know, back when I was in the military, or even training when I was a salesman. I like, because I always felt like with training you're building, and when you're building things you're advancing, you're progressing, your powers and your skills. You know what I mean? Man, my fucking lifts have fucking just gone up and up and up. So I'm like in year 5. Yeah, so 5 years it came. People could see it in 18 months. The first probably about 6 months, I did it natural without any kind of fucking hormonal assistance or anything. It didn't work out. No, I just stand around moaning. Never could heal up. Didn't matter what I ate.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You
Just miserable.
Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it does suck.
Instead of getting stronger, I was getting weaker.
Yeah.
And went to a test clinic, and they pulled my testosterone, did my blood work on it, and man, my shit was low. It was only like 135 nanograms per deciliter, and really like a good alpha level teenager is at like 1300. So I had a fucking test of not a woman, but a test of a very old man. And when I went on HRT, I was only taking 200 milligrams of testosterone cypionate, and on 200 milligrams my test levels went up to about 950 nanograms. That's pretty good. Most dudes don't have that. But what I do now, I gotta be fucking probably like 1,300, 1,600, probably 1,600 nanograms per deciliter. Yeah, I'm at professional athlete, fucking pro wrestler, fucking levels of the shit. And I would not recommend it for young dudes. If you're young and as long as your system is healthy and you're pretty healthy, you shouldn't really need much hormonal assistance. But after the age of 35, your natural production starts to trail off. If you want to be as good as you were or better at 45 than you were at fucking 20, you're going to have to be on test. Everybody does that. They just don't admit to it. All them dudes that look like that shit, fucking, like me and Rock, I think The Rock is a year older than me, maybe. Don't for 1 second think The Rock is natural, you know, or Arnold Schwarzenegger was natural. No, they were injecting shit.
Well, yeah, everybody. You can't look like that.
No.
No, I mean,
You cannot look like that in
maybe
your
there's
50s.
a tiny percentage of people that could, but it's like you'd be like a way outlier.
No. Not, especially not at 50s, because most men hit androgenopause, which is like male menopause, in their late 40s, and you're just not making any testosterone. Not enough to maintain that kind of body mass and muscle. You have to have a bunch of androgenic signaling to keep that shit to maintain it. Now, what would happen now if I came off everything and just went to 200 milligrams of testosterone a week? I'd maintain my body weight indefinitely. If I came off the test, I'd probably lose about 10 pounds a year, I would think. So it would, because I just don't make enough to maintain that amount of muscle. Don't make enough testosterone to do it. So once you're on it, if you want to stay that way, you're on it for life. Same thing with breast implants with women. If you're going to get breast implants, you want some big old titties, they're going to be in there for the rest of your life or until you have them removed. Which, why would you do that unless they were broken?
Yeah, because sometimes they burst. Although it's pretty rare nowadays. But
they actually were only supposed to last 10 to 15 years. That's most of them. Yours are reaching that. I was kind of worried about that.
Yeah, I really don't.
But
I can't really.
I got great credit. If we have to get you some new ones, I'll get you some new ones.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for that.
I'll get it
because I can't afford to.
Well,
I don't really want to have to go through that crap again. But
what was that? About $3,000, $4,000?
It's 3,500.
35. Yeah, I can handle that.
I mean, that was years ago, though. It's probably, I'm sure it's more expensive now.
Yeah. Well, I almost have that in cash.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But then I got a shit ton of credit.
I don't know how much it is now because that's how much it was 12 years ago when we were fucking.
My white boy credentials are golden, man. My fucking credit is good. They'll give me whatever I ask for.
Yeah, you can probably get all kind of because you didn't even have a credit card until like a year ago.
No, and I'm real good with my credit cards.
You didn't even buy.
I just went anywhere, and you know what I mean. Fucking, and they said, "Hey, if you get a credit card," I bought her a fucking a bottle of Jimmy Choo,
like perfume, yeah,
perfume, at the mall. What mall was that?
It was in
Belk.
At Belk.
And the woman there, she was a Chinese woman running it. She goes, "If you get a Belk card with us, you'll get, what was it, 25% off?"
Yeah, something like that. It was a big discount.
And I said, "Yeah, okay." So I just quick gave her my credit, and she came and gave me a $6,000 credit limit.
And you were like,
"Oh shit!
Thank you, man."
The one I had from the one at that time, the one that I had from Bank of America was only like $2,000 or $1,500.
Yeah.
So once I got that, I went back to on my tablet and fucking asked for.
Hey, give me more money, bitches.
Yeah, I asked for some more credit, and they immediately gave me like $5,000.
Well, because you make big payments.
Yeah,
I mean, I generally just do the minimums because I have like so much debt, but
I pay about $1,000 a month in credit cards.
But you pay a lot of your stuff.
I pay them down, yeah.
So your credit's a lot better than mine.
And I got like 4 or 5 of them.
Mine's not terrible, but it's not great either. Let me see.
And then all the home loan stuff, that's a lot even easier because you can't. It's not like you can't steal an air conditioner. They know it's going to be here. They'll get their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can get, for home improvement, you can get a lot. You can get bigger loans and easier. So we had to do that a couple times. I had to get a new roof and had to get two new air conditioning
units.
The entire central system.
This house has 2. Yeah, they had to replace the whole.
Yeah, they were old, and they said, well, you're going to get a lot better electricity bills. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever. They always say that.
It was $300 a month cheaper.
Yeah, we were like, what the fuck? That was like, so I thought they were just bullshitting.
Yeah, I thought
it'd be like $20 or something like that, but no, it was like $300 a month.
$300 a month less. Yeah. So
I mean, it wasn't cheap to replace the shit.
No.
But they were old. It's
about $15,000.
Yeah, they were old. So. And
2 inside and 2 outside units.
In Florida, your AC does not last a long time because it has to work very hard.
It's running all the time.
Honestly, I remember growing up, and I know like the AC units were not as good back then, but growing up, like pretty much every year, the shit would wear out, and you'd have to have somebody come fix it.
I checked them though.
Like in August, they'd be like, I can't do it anymore.
Even in the summer, they weren't running as long.
Yeah.
Because they're just more efficient.
Yeah, there's much better shit nowadays. Yeah. Like, and I kind of feel like they know how to deal with it better.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like the AC from the old days was like it couldn't handle it.
I think.
There's a lot of questions I got to answer.
Yeah, a lot of questions. Let's get with
Burley said, "Have you done a video about Lisk?" Yes, we did a one about Lisk before he got caught, and then when Heuermann got caught, we did an update. Like, I don't remember when it was, but we definitely did. Oracle said, "I occasionally have dreams where I've just finished some exciting spy mission, and then I have to skateboard home, and I dream of every single mile." Yeah, skateboard. Use the spy on the skateboard. That sounds like a children's book. That would be funny. Phantom says, "Good riddance to the dude that committed the Delphi murders." Yeah, we just did the show about that. Yeah. He got 130 years in the joint. I mean, good. CB said, "My history teacher dreamed of gutting me and told me he was going to do it if I didn't stop fucking around in class." So I kept fucking with him. Yeah, because it's not like he's really going to do it. I mean, maybe. I mean, you never know. He might really be.
Yeah, and Phantom was also asking about... he said something more about those drones, too. The drones being the size of a car. Did you pass that one?
Yeah, that was way a long time
ago. Okay. I wouldn't really believe anything people say.
Like I said, I'm just anything like that. It's very easy for shit to like turn into a math panic, right. And then like if people start talking about something and something starts trending, then people are gonna like start fucking around. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, and making fake shit or like going out and doing. So it's like I just don't even bother listening anymore. Like I said, it's kind of like the clown purge.
There's a
urban legend.
There's a shit ton of private and commercial drones, good ones, in the hands of Americans. And those drone pilots are pretty good, and they're fucking with people, just the same way motorcyclists would. Hey man, get on your bike, let's go, let's take over the town. That's all they're doing. Look at us, we own this shit. That's what the drone pilots are doing. Because if you saw a bunch of drones up there flying, wouldn't you get your drone out? I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna fly my drone too. That's what they're doing.
No, I'm not a joiner.
Yeah, well, these are dudes.
Yeah,
there's a drone geeks.
I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
because then I'd just be like, no, because then it'd be more likely that their drone is going to run into my drone, and then I got to buy a new
Some
one.
of those drones, you can fly them like a video game. Got a camera on the front. You can fly them around and having fun. So that's all they're doing.
Okay, I guess
like a remote-controlled airplane.
That's just not a me thing, I guess.
What's that?
That's not a me thing, I guess. We see everybody doing something. Oh, I want to go do that too. I'm like, yeah, that's not me though. I don't do that. Zach is talking about when I was asking about the angst about a new relationship, like being real excited about being with them and not wanting to mess it up, definitely overthinking it like crazy. Yeah, I get it, like, because I'm that same way, but yeah, you just gotta fucking chill out and not worry about it too much. Man, I got so behind. Thank you very much for the super chat, Burley. Merry Christmas to you too. I'm like excited for Christmas. I'm excited about all the desserts, Tom, but as he comes in with the bags, he's like, it's got cookies and little danishes and like all this other kind of stuff. So they're like, well, it's Christmas time. Calories don't count, I guess, at Christmas. But I wanted to get some Petit Fours because I always associate those with Christmas because my grandmother used to always buy me, because I love them, and my grandmother used to always buy me a big box of them at Christmas time. And she would just get like the Hickory Farms ones or whatever. But they were always so good, and I'm just like, fuck, man, I want some. But it's just like, I looked on Amazon, they don't just sell, they sell like a big box. You pretty much can't get like a little box. And I think the cheapest one they have is like $29. And Publix has like a big tray of them, but I think it's $32.99. And I was like, do I want them that bad? Maybe if I go down to the bakery, they might have like a little thing with just like 6 in there, because I'm like, I don't need 30 of them, bro. I just need like a few, just to make it seem like it's Christmas. Let me see, hold on, I got like super behind. Well, hello there said, I have dreams about my teeth coming loose and falling out. Yeah, I have that all the time. That is a very, very common dream. Very common.
That's a what do they call it?
Isn't it supposed to signify like
helplessness
or like loss of control or something like that? I'm not really sure how much stock I place in like dream interpretation, but it does kind of make sense.
I have those feelings when it's happening.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. It's usually like a part of another dream. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like one time I dreamed just like a mundane thing where I was like in the McDonald's drive-thru for some fucking reason.
It's real similar.
And then my teeth started falling, and I could feel it. Like I'd feel them like slipping over my lips. And when I woke up, I was like. like because I thought all my teeth were gone.
It's almost the same dream as you're in school, walking down the hallway, and everybody's looking at you, and you look down, and you realize you don't have your clothes on.
Yeah, that's very common too.
It's that
I've
same.
actually never had that dream.
It's the same, yeah.
But one
same.
that I do have a lot is that, and this is, and I know why this is. This is when I'm sleeping and my body is telling me you really need to wake up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Is in my dream, I'll start looking for a bathroom in my dream. But every single one I find is unusable for some reason.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a disgusting hole in the floor,
Yeah.
or there's a serial killer in there,
Yeah.
or something. There'll be like
Yeah.
some reason why I can't use it.
Yeah.
And so that's my body telling me to wake up and go to the actual bathroom, which it's actually kind of funny, like when you think about it.
I got in the middle of my sleep one time and fucking went to the foot of the bed and just stood there like that. And Jen's like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "I'm pissing." You're peeing? And I woke up because I was sleepwalking. I wasn't peeing
so
though.
Funny.
I wasn't pissing though.
That
I
was
jumped
so
down, trying to
funny.
feel it. See where was it? And I didn't. So then
Oh
I
my
went.
God.
Then I went to the bathroom.
We still laugh about that. Well, it was weird because it was like super creepy. It was just like if you guys saw Paranormal Activity, it kind of reminded me of that. Like that scene where that girl like stands, it's like staring at him like for all that time. Like it kind of reminded me of that. Like I just woke up randomly because usually if he gets out of bed, I'll kind of half wake up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I wake up and he's just standing there.
Yeah, dick in my hand.
Like at the foot of the bed, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Pissing.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you peeing on the floor?"
Yeah.
Like, because I was immediately awake.
Yeah, and I jumped.
And then he's like, "What? What?"
Yeah, yeah.
We've been kind of drinking the night before.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know.
Well, I was dreaming that I was like I was in a restroom pissing in a urinal.
See, that's bad
That's what I was
because
dreaming.
sometimes if you dream that you're peeing,
Yeah.
sometimes you're peeing in real life.
Yeah, I thought I was dreaming that I was pissing.
That's never happened to me, but I
wasn't.
know a lot of people that's happened to.
Yeah, well, probably only a few seconds away from it.
Mm.
You
probably
psychic
would've been.
pictures, and I wasn't pissing on the floor. I would have been pissing on the foot of the bed.
Yeah, we have
Where it was.
it's like a long, like
Yeah.
a bench.
Yeah.
It's one of those benches that you can pull the top of and you can put stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like a storage thing.
Would have been on that.
He would have been peeing on that
Yeah.
because that's like at the foot of the bed.
Yeah, but in my mind, I was in the restroom and I was just in front of the urinal.
Yeah.
And then I heard you call me and I said, "Yeah, I'm in here pissing."
I just thought it was funny how
He said, "You pissed on-
matter
you
of
pissed on
fact
the floor."
you
And
were.
I fucking
I was like, "Are you
snapped
peeing
that
on
away?"
the
He's like,
floor?"
"What?"
And he's like, "What? Oh, shit!"
Yeah, what the fuck am I doing?
And then for a second, he
Yeah.
thought he had peed on the floor. And
Yeah,
I was
but
like,
I
"Oh
didn't.
shit! Did you pee on the floor?" He didn't.
No, because I still had to piss.
Yeah.
So I went.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
How fucking funny! That was like we still laugh about that.
Yeah, that was a long
fucking-
time ago.
That was fucking hilarious.
2 years maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if it was quite that long
Yeah.
ago, but it was a while back. Elysian said, "Y'all are the best fucking couple." Aw, that's so nice. Let's go back to it. You know, we're just I don't know. It's kind of weird. I guess on paper it seems kind of weird because we're not really that much alike, but honestly, maybe we're more alike than not.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't seem like it on the
We
surface.
just have different
perhaps.
opinions on certain shit. That's all.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like our
only a good-
personalities are kind of similar.
Yeah.
Although you're a lot more extroverted,
Yeah.
and I'm a lot more introverted.
Yeah.
But in a way, that kind of works out better. You know what I mean?
I'm constantly pushing her.
Yeah.
to-
Because and plus, I kind of feel like if it's two extroverted people, they're constantly
Yeah.
like competing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
fucking, you know, it's just constant stress.
Yeah.
You know, so.
So what else they saying? You're not at the bottom. There's a bunch of
I know.
Okay.
That's what I said. I got behind on
got
this
all
stuff.
kinds of questions.
Phantom said The Rock is the Nickelback of action stars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ouch. That's,
Although
that's pretty harsh.
I like Dwayne Johnson. Now, he's a good dude. But like, yeah, he's generic now.
Yeah, but you know, that's
He's
all
good.
right.
What's cool about him is that he kind of picked up where Arnie left off, but he has a lot more personality than Arnie. Arnie didn't really have that. Arnie's personality was to be kind of robotic.
Yeah,
and
that's what he was good at.
Yeah, and fucking trying to and to be kind of like this weird silent type. But that's not how he really was. If you talk to his friends from the bodybuilding scene, way he was like, he was a clown, a real joker. He was never serious. He's not a serious dude. He was intelligent, but he just wasn't very serious.
Elysian said, "Would y'all ever do tarot readings or psychic readings?"
No.
Probably not. I mean, as in do them for other people or go and have someone else do them for us. A long time ago, when I was still probably like in my 20s, me and my mom went to Casadega.
Fuck.
which in Florida is it's a spiritualist community. So you can go there. A lot of people, it's a tourist kind of thing. So a lot of people go and there's psychics and stuff. And we went and saw one just for a lark. And she said some shit that was kind of accurate, but it was still vague enough that I was like, meh, I'm not buying it.
It's like fortune cookies or fucking or astrology.
Yeah.
It's kind of, they Nostradamus your ass.
Yeah.
They just make everything kind of vague and it can be interpreted in more than one ways.
Yeah.
It's carefully worded.
Casey Lee said, I wish Tom was my big brother. I'd not get this fucked up.
he
no, Tom would probably encourage it, honestly.
Yeah.
Phantom says that new Wolfman film looks pretty promising. It does. I've seen the trailer a couple of times, and that does actually look pretty good. I don't think that's going to start until next month, though. Doesn't that start in, like, January or something? I saw the poster, like, last time we went to the movies, but I thought that it didn't.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I remember you saying that, like, the trailer looked good.
Looked good. That's all I remember from it.
I think it's one of the ones... Because remember how when we were talking about the whole Dark Universe debacle?
Yeah.
And how they finally decided after The Mummy was not that well received.
Yeah.
That they're like, you know what, fuck it. We might still make these, but we're just going to give them to Dermot and just like let them make their own thing and not try to force it into like a shared universe like Marvel. And I kind of feel like that was probably the better way to go. So I'm guessing that this is an updating of the Universal Wolfman.
Yeah.
Because that's what Invisible Man was with Elizabeth Moss, which was great. But they like completely modernized it. Like they just did their own thing with it, and I thought it was like really good. They didn't try to like remake the original or anything like that. They just kind of took that idea and like kind of did their own thing with it, which I think is like a better plan. Like make something original. You don't have to retell the same story again.
Funny thing about The Mummy is that I enjoyed The Mummy. I liked the movie, yeah. It was a shit show. Because they just stuffed so many monsters into one movie. And then you had Tom Cruise in it. Which that kind of... I don't want to say that fucked it up. It's just that it gave it a different flavor.
You can say it, I'll say it.
It gave it a flavor that... it gave it a tone that the movies probably shouldn't have had. He's a little too positive and optimistic, that Tom Cruise, in most of his roles. He's better as, fucking, what's his name? Ethan Hunt,
Yeah, like that kind of role.
Yeah, when he played that assassin, that was really good too. What was the name of that one? Fucking Collateral. Yeah, that one was really good. But for that particular movie, it just didn't work. Although I fucking really liked Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole movie should have been that.
Yeah. They should have just stuck with like one or two things. There were too many monsters.
Well, the mistake they made, other than trying to cram it into a shared universe, it's kind of a cool idea on the surface. Like, it could be done right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they did kind of the same thing with that series, Penny Dreadful. That wasn't Universal, but they kind of took classic monsters and kind of all put them in the same universe, and it worked, you know what I mean? So it can be done. I'm just saying that the problem was that they were trying to make it like a Marvel movie and not like a horror movie. And I'm like, it's supposed to be a horror movie.
Exactly. That was the problem.
Although I will concede that the original Mummy with Boris Karloff was kind of I don't want to call it a romance.
It wasn't really a horror movie.
Not really a horror movie.
Paranormal thriller.
The sequels were.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like it was more apparent. But you know what I mean? It's just, I kind of feel like if you're going to do that, go full on horror. Get like horror directors, make them horror movies. I don't want to see like an action movie. Oh, by the way, it has a mummy in it. That's, unless it was something like the Brandon Fraser ones, which were a lot of fun. But that was kind of more like an Indiana Jones type.
If you've never seen the Boris Karloff The Mummy, see it. I had never seen it. Jenny showed it to me.
Yeah, I love the.
I just thought it was going to be this mummy zombie walking around.
No, it's not like that at all.
Not like that at all. The movie was written so Boris Karloff could beat Bela Lugosi over the fucking Dracula thing, and he plays a Egyptian sorcerer who comes back to life. Yeah. He's very much kind of like a vampire in a certain way.
Ardith Bay.
Yeah, Ardith Bay, and he says some fucking cool shit.
He looks cool as hell.
Yeah, through the whole.
That might be my favorite look of his, both as the Mummy and as Ardith Bay. He looks fantastic.
Yeah, he starts off looking like a old monk, next time you see him, all that's gone. He's
mostly Ardith Bay, like through the most of the movie. But he looks cool like that.
Kind of like this suave Egyptian dude.
Yeah.
Who's from the ancient times. Fucking just says a lot of cool shit. But there's a lot of good acting in it. I don't remember everything that he said. I've only seen it once. I'd like to see it again. There's another one that he did, Fu Manchu.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, everybody says it's great. It says it's super fucking... it's super fucking kind of... fucking like it's not PC at all, you know, fucking because he's in yellow face through the whole thing, but it's still
shit, man. They even did that up until the '60s because Christopher Lee played Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu, yeah,
also,
yeah, and
that was a terrible movie.
Peter Sellers,
that's right,
did the fiendish plot of Dr. Fu Manchu, and I remember loving it as a kid.
I remember seeing it on cable. I don't remember hardly anything about it.
Yeah, he was this old wizard, Chinese damn wizard or warlock or something, you know. He had chemical knowledge and could make drugs and shit. He's old and he's trying to get his mojo back. He needs his, I think he called it the elixir vitae. And I don't remember how he was doing it. I don't remember if he was draining fucking people's life essences and then he's putting it in himself. He was I haven't seen it in a long time, but he gets younger. That was before they had test. Before they had test on, but that's exactly what happens to him. And the thing is, it's hard to find that movie. Fiendish plot of Dr. Fu Manchu.
I remember it being on cable all the time.
Yeah, it's on cable all the time.
I saw it a bunch of times. I just don't remember that much about it.
Yeah, Peter Sellers did it.
Yeah,
and then, but I want to see. I want to see the Mummy again.
Yeah, I really like that. That might be. I don't know. This is kind of because I love Boris Karloff. That might be my favorite role of his, but. Man, he was in so much good shit, though.
And he had the most dialogue and the most work in that one.
Yeah.
I think my favorite role that he did was fucking...
Black Cat?
Yeah, fucking Shalmar Pelzig was his name.
What a great fucking movie that
is. And it was Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, and Karloff's playing Pelzig, and he's an ex... military officer who sacrificed his own men on the battlefield to consecrate a ground where he's going to build this big satanic temple. He built this fucking ultra modern for the time, you know, for like the 30s. It looked like an ultra modern fucking building, you know, palace kind of thing. And he had fucking rich people coming and he's doing satanic rituals and stuff. And one of his men gets out of the Kul Gal, which was like a military prison. And he survives it. His name is Vitus Veltigast, and it was Boris Karloff.
It's like the best name ever.
Excuse me, not Boris. It was Vitus Veltigast.
Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, Bela Lugosi. All right, and he's tracking down Pelzig because he thinks he's got his wife Karen. He does have his wife Karen, but you find her. He's got not only has his wife, he's got his daughter. Mm-hmm. Up in that castle, and it's fucking weird, man. Especially for the time. He's using the daughter as his like satanic sex slave type. She just wanders around in these beautiful fucking damn near see-through robes, kind of futuristic satanic robe, going in and out of bed and shit. She's not really sure who she is. I don't think she knows what. But he's got her, and it turns out he's got Karen, the wife, that girl's mother, and she's down in the fucking place where they used to where the battlements were. There used to be an old military position there where they had places where they stored artillery rounds and shit. It's where it was an artillery emplacement at one time. It's where he consecrated the ground by killing his own men, or having the enemy kill his own men. Well, down in there, he's got about 15, I'd probably say about 15 glass coffins with fucking preserved women in them, hanging from the ceiling. They're like standing up. All these beautiful women. And Vitus finds him and he goes, what happened? What is she in there? And she goes, she died. You know, well, why is she like this? It's just like, because I just can't get rid of her beauty. You know, I can't stand this. You know, I don't want to be parted from her beauty. But there's all these other ones too. They didn't really get into that. But the implication is that she's not just preserved in there, that she's a sex doll. That he's necrophile. He's having sex with all these dead brides. And he's got a living one. That one's mom. That one's daughter. It's bizarre. Well, fucking Vitus fucking loses it. They get into this big fight. Eventually, he skins fucking Perelzig to death. Fucking chains him up. Fucking skins him alive. But it's and then the movie ends. And
yeah, it's pretty messed up.
It's a fucked up movie
for the 1930s.
For the 1930s.
What was that? 1934, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was 1934.
There was all kinds of weird implications. And the whole story's being watched by an American couple who happens to be in this country, and they're just vanilla as fuck.
Yeah, they're like the Rocky Horror.
Yeah, they're like, what?
The Brad and Janet
on?
of the 1930s.
Why are these guys like that? I don't know, dear. You know, that kind of shit, you know?
Yeah.
And they're just kind of stand-ins
Mr. and Mrs. Whitebread.
Yeah, they're just stand-ins for Mrs. and Mrs. Whitebreads in the theater, you know? Just to let the people watching the movie, to let them know how to react to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, look at all this scandal.
But
nonsense going on.
Evidently, because of that movie, and I can't think a couple other ones, but I think that one was named. That's why they started to do all the Hays Code.
That might have been one of the
one
of the movies.
Because they started to get fucking wild, man, in the 30s. Well, anyway, a listener who was big into that had never heard of that movie. And he saw it, and he hit me up after Facebook. He goes, yeah, that fucking, you're right, man. That movie was badass.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
The Black Cat.
Yeah.
Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi. It's kind of a forgotten classic.
Supposedly based on the Edgar Allan Poe story, but it's totally not.
Totally, they shoehorned that cat in there.
Cat doesn't really have anything to do with it.
Doesn't have anything to do with it.
It's not based on the story. It doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Nope.
Because if you've read the story, like that's the whole thing where the guy kills the woman and, you know, walls her up in the thing, and then he has the cat that he hates and blah, blah, blah. None of that happens in the movie. They were just trying to get name recognition. Even back in the 30s, they were doing that shit. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Somebody mentioned Mad Monster Party. Man, I reviewed that for my Scare Salon thing. You know what's crazy? I had seen all the kind of Rankin Bass kind of stuff, like the Christmas ones and everything. And I had heard of Mad Monster Party, but for some reason I had never seen it. And I was just like, which is crazy, because I was just like, that would have been like right up my fucking alley. But I saw it recently and did a big long thing for it on my Scare Salon channel. And I can see why it's long. I kind of feel like it didn't really need to be as long as it was. And some of the jokes didn't land quite as well as some of the stuff did in the Christmas ones, but it's actually like really quite enjoyable, you know. So, and Boris Karloff's great. Like a lot of the shit is great. Like they even had like Phyllis Diller was like the Bride of Frankenstein, kind of too. Like she was like super funny. Was she Bride of Frankenstein or was she? Yeah, I guess she was Bride of Frankenstein. But yeah, that was pretty funny.
Come to think of it, remember that scene where Shalmar has got his satanic coven together, and he's up there and he's doing the whole ritual. Wasn't he going to sacrifice the girl?
I thought he was, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's been a while since we reviewed it, but
so I guess what he did was he was sacrificing them, and then turning them into fucking sex dolls. Because remember, he had a bunch of them.
Yeah, kind of kept them in the little glass cases or whatever the fuck.
And they did look pretty. They were real women, and they're in this glass coffin. He had these like Lily Munster fucking sheer robes and shit, and they're in these positions, you know. Like
I guess he just goes down and picks one, like whatever.
I'm taking this one tonight.
Whatever mood he's in.
Yeah, and they were hanging from the ceiling. They didn't really show what they were hanging. They were hanging from the ceiling in some way, so maybe they lowered down because everything was high tech. There,
he had a winch or something.
Yeah,
up there.
they lowered down and he opened them up, and took them out. But
like a weird automat.
Yeah.
Put a coin in there. And fucking get a sandwich out.
They're showing him as being real high tech. He had an intercom in the house. That big house.
Which is a big deal for them.
That was a big deal back then. He also had a radio.
Yeah.
It was a futuristic looking radio set. He was showing that off. So I assume the dead girls were part of his technology. You know what I mean? I think that's how you were supposed to see that he had done stuff to them to preserve them. And they might have been articulated or something. So they could move.
Who knows? I mean...
And so I think they were just trying to say he was a high tech, and he was storing them in those things, in those caskets, glass coffins.
CB asked if we've seen have you ever done a movie review of Freaks from 1931?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we did. It was probably a long time ago, but I mean, you have to do Freaks, right? It's a classic. I like a lot of Todd Browning's movies, honestly. That was a big fucking thing too, because they used real, they used real circus performers.
Yeah.
And everybody just about flipped the fuck out. People fainting and stuff like that. Man, they were so sensitive back then.
All right.
So sensitive.
Cason's asking about AMSR, and Phantom's talking about the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movies.
We should probably... You know what? I don't think... When we went on our Universal thing, we did Dracula, we did Spanish Dracula, we did The Mummy, we did The Wolfman. But I don't think we did Invisible Man, did we?
I don't think so.
Oh, and I think we even did Creature from the Black Lagoon, like the first one.
Now, Gallon Fox said that The Brides of Fu was the worst of the trilogy.
I haven't seen that one.
But he said Peter Sellers' Fu was superior.
Okay. I'm gonna have to rewatch that because I haven't seen it in a long time. Like I said, the one that I saw, The Castle of Fu Manchu, was on Mystery Science Theater, and Christopher Lee was playing Fu Manchu, and I love Christopher Lee. I love him. But that was one of the worst fucking movies ever. And honestly, even for MST, like, even they were just kind of like, we don't even know what to do with this, man. Yeah. It's just kind of, you know what I mean? There's like, and it wasn't even... I can't.
Was it as bad as Blackula? Not Blackula. What was I thinking? Blackenstein? Blackula was good. Blackenstein was terrible.
It was worse than Blackenstein. It was worse than almost anything. And I can't articulate exactly why. I think it's because look, if a movie's bad, but it's still like kind of what the fuck or entertaining, then it's not bad. It's still good. It entertained me. The only movies to me that are bad are ones that are boring, or ones where I can't figure out what's going on. Like, they're so incoherent that I can't be bothered to care. And I think that was what Castle of Fu Manchu was. I had no fucking idea. And I've seen it multiple times because I've seen that episode, like the MST episode, a bunch of times. I still have I couldn't tell you. You put a gun to my head, I could not tell you what the fuck happens in that movie. I have no fucking idea. It's just, it seems like a bunch of completely unrelated scenes.
Yeah.
Just like kind of spliced together with no rhyme or reason. And I'm just like, who is this? What is happening?
Yeah. I accidentally almost slandered Blackula, though. Blackula's a fucking great flick.
I was going to say.
And Scream Blackula.
Shut your mouth.
And Scream Blackula Scream.
Those are both excellent films.
Excellent, yeah. Van Rice used them a lot to help
And we're not even being facetious.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah, about an African vampire named Mumawalde. Dracula turned him into... They show the scene and everything. Dracula turned him into a vampire and called him Blackula. So it was kind of like a bad nickname.
Like an insult.
Like an insult to him. But he was like an African lord. He was real educated. He was trying to stop the slave trade. Dracula fucked him up for that. Tried to fucking buy his wife and everything. But he killed the wife.
Which fucking rude. Can you imagine, you invite somebody over to your house, like, and you think you're going to have a serious discussion about shit? Oh, by the way.
Yeah. But
how much for her?
What was cool
I'd be like, excuse me?
What was cool about it, though, is that fucking, during the conversation Mama Waldy was having with Dracula, he didn't know it was Dracula. He just thought it was a European lord. Turns out, in the story, Dracula was responsible for the slave trade. He was the one doing it.
Dracula's a dick, man.
Yeah. And then...
that sounds like some shit he would do.
Yeah. And then... but those two movies are really good. The fashion's good, the writing's good, and Rice used a lot of the lore. Now, some of it, like, Scream got edited down. They cut some shit out of it, because the old version, I saw two different versions on YouTube when I ordered it. The first version had a bunch of scenes in there about vampire culture, about going out, and it fucking Mama Waldy's like, oh no, you're not going out. And he's like, why not? And he goes, because you will lead them back here to us, and we have to sleep at night. You know, and we have to do this for centuries. You'll get us killed. You're going to stay right here. And he goes, what am I, some kind of slave? And he goes, yes, you're my slave.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, so Mama Waldy, who was against the slave trade, ended up being a slaver. Because when you make a vampire, they're slave vampires.
So it was kind of like he's becoming like his.
Yeah,
worst.
He became what he hated.
Yeah.
So he kind of had a lot of self-hatred. It's a good flick. And then I almost call it like a spiritual successor to it. It was Vampire in Brooklyn. Now a lot of people don't like Vampire. But I will defend Vampire in Brooklyn.
It's pretty good. I don't love it, but it's pretty good.
I'm a fan of Murphy and Murphy's classic shit. When he was on point, some of the shit just wasn't. No, I think it was just wrong for him. But I liked Vampire in Brooklyn. I saw it in the theater when it came out. Loved it. And I was like one of the only persons in the fucking theater. It was a matinee though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't remember if it did that well.
It bombed.
Yeah, I thought it probably did. It's better
but it's a
than
solid flick.
It's better than I remembered.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing it a long time ago and being like, meh.
I think it was a little bit better than The Golden Child. Although some people would probably fight me over that.
Now, see, the thing about it,
like
The
The Golden
Golden Child, I really liked it.
Yeah.
Like back in the 80s. Because it was on cable like every day.
Yeah.
And so I saw it a million times. And then I didn't see it for 15, 20 years. And then we watched it again, like for a review. And I still liked it, but I didn't like it as much as I liked it back then. The weird thing about it is that removed from the context of the time, I'm like, this is a weird fucking movie. The premise of this is so fucking weird.
It made more sense at the time.
Yeah, at the time I didn't really think about it, but now it's just like, this is a weird fucking
It was
movie.
an action adventure.
Yeah.
Paranormal action adventure. It was. I liked it though. It was.
I did too. I just didn't like it as much as I did when I was
basically
younger.
what it was is it was kind of like Eddie Murphy's version of Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
It was kind of like
Which was also kind of a weird movie.
Yeah.
Like, they made a lot of fucking movies like that in the 80s. Like, I can't even explain. Like, what genre is that even?
What's that?
I mean, I guess you could kind of say they were all sort of inspired by Raiders of the Lost Ark, because Raiders of the Lost Ark, even though it's based on old serials from the 30s and stuff like that, it's like an adventure archaeology thing, but it also had supernatural elements. Like, the supernatural was real.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like there was a lot of that going on in the 80s, like a lot of that crossover, like an adventure film that also had supernatural shit in it. So Elysian said I got to work tomorrow. So talk to you later, guys. Okay. See you later.
We'll see you. You can always watch it recorded. We're gonna do about another hour probably.
I mean, whatever happens.
We're gonna get something to eat though.
Don't get too excited about it. Come on now.
All right.
Like, he's just so excited about going down the subway and like fucking
get something to eat.
Fade was talking about Eight-Legged Freaks. That was actually a fun movie about the spiders. Not as I didn't like it as much as Big Ass Spider.
Big Ass Spider was funnier, yeah.
Big Ass Spider I think was the superior film, but Eight-Legged Freaks is pretty good too. I did a review probably a few months ago about like a French killer spider film called Infested.
Yeah.
Although that wasn't funny. That was like horrifying. But that was pretty good too. That had like regular sized spiders and kind of big spiders, but not like, you know, huge spiders, but like about as big as a dog, I guess. But yeah, that was pretty good too. Senor Stick said, Tom and Jenny, will the Goth Club do Christmas?
No.
What they're doing tomorrow night is it's 80s night, which a lot of the goths go to anyway. Now the goth night, Memento Mori, they actually had it last Saturday.
It was big.
It's good. Normally Friday nights, but for whatever reason,
because they had a party on Saturday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they had a party on Friday, so they moved it to Saturday, and there was a huge turnout. The hilarious thing was that toward the end of the night, the smoke machine set the fire alarm off. So everybody had to, which has never happened before. So everybody had to go out on the back patio until the fire department came, even though they knew that there was no fire.
Yeah, and me and the DJ, you know, like we went. It's funny because my drunk ass starts talking to the fucking fireman.
They're like, we can't legally we can't let you back in until the firemen come and say, okay, there's no fire. We're like, we know there's no fire. We know what happened.
Said y'all's response time was great, man. You did a good job.
Yeah, they like showed up.
Yeah, it happened real fast.
I don't think that. Well, the fire station is not that far from there, so that's probably why they were just kind of like, and they were just sitting around doing nothing. But that was super funny. But yeah, it was like a really it was a really good turnout.
Yeah.
Because you had the 80s people and you had the Memento Mori people. There's a lot of crossover, but some people just like one or the other. But tomorrow night they're doing 80s like usual, but they're also doing a holiday edition. So I imagine that will entail playing Wham's Last Christmas and Do They Know It's Christmas, the Band-Aid song, and what's that one by the Waitresses?
I don't know.
They do a when it the Waitresses? Don't they do a Christmas song too? And probably then that Ramones one. You know it. You know it. Yeah, and that Ramones
I probably
one.
have to hear it before I knew what you're talking about.
Like, there's like a lot of, so I imagine they'll probably like throw those into the mix. So, but it'll be fun.
Burley says he said Golden Child. Fucking what do you say? Golden Child rules. Yeah, that was a good movie. It was a really good low budget movie. If you see it now, I have it on Blu-ray. It wasn't expensive to make, and it had some pretty cool little special effects and some cool ideas. But you could see that it was done. It's an independent film done on a shoestring budget. But for me, it kind of held up. It was still good. It was funny. You know, I knew it was going to happen, but they're still taking me on a little trip. You know, it was all right. It was good.
I still remember lines from that fucking.
Yeah.
Because me. Cause,
give me the knife.
Yeah, I know. Me and my brother used to do that to each other all the time.
It's all kind
with the gesture.
Yeah. And then the fucking... What was the name of that demon that they were talking to?
Oh, shit. No, I can't remember.
Get the Achante dagger and the child, you know. They said it had that voice and shit, you know what I mean?
Wasn't fucking Charles Dance in that? Didn't he play like the bad guy?
Yeah.
I think it was
that's
Charles
that guy's
Dance,
name.
Yeah. That was
Noomspa. His name was Noomspa.
Yeah, and he kept calling him
Noomspa.
Yeah,
and
something like that.
It's kind of funny. Eddie was like making fun of it. And what I liked about that is Eddie just played a dude who's trying to find lost children. Like that's a job.
Yeah. It's like
I'm looking for the, and he's kind of like he's hamming it up. I'm looking for these lost children. That's what I do for a living. I look for lost children. It's just
I'm like, how did he get that job?
How did he get that job?
I was like, I thought a cop did that.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
It's just. Well, it's a fucking not a believable premise, and they knew it. They
That's
just
what I
roll
mean.
with
It's
it.
so weird.
They just roll with it. Yeah.
Everyone was probably coked out of their gourds.
Yeah,
when they came up with
They're
that.
having fun.
Which was probably true of pretty much every movie that came out in the 80s, I feel
Yeah.
like. Because, well, in the 70s, too, because I kind of feel like a lot of... At the time, I wasn't coked out of my gourd, but it's like, at the time, in the 70s and 80s, so many movies were like that you were just kind of like, okay, I suppose so. But then, like, if you don't see them for a long time, and then you see them later on, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? This is, like, super, super weird.
I used to like the two 48 Hours movies, too, but I own them both and went back and saw them recently, and they're not as good as I remembered them. They're not as fun as like the Beverly Hills Cop series.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop is, like, way funnier.
Yeah.
Right?
Even the third one, which isn't that good, is still kind of watchable, you know. The first two are great.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say, like, a lot of movies that I saw in the 80s that I really loved in the 80s, most of the time, if I rewatch them again recently, I'm like, man, that's still good. Like, that still holds up.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll see one and be like,
yeah.
Like, that didn't hold up so good.
They knew what they were doing.
Or I don't like it as much.
They usually knew what they were doing in the 80s.
But most of them actually did hold up, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of... I really like to revisit stuff, though.
Yeah.
Like, especially stuff that I was, like, really, really into. Or, like, horror movies that really scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Like, I always, like watch them again and, like...
Yeah.
Because, you know... Okay, you guys are going to laugh if you've seen this movie. When I was a kid, like, maybe, like... I'm talking a kid. I was probably, like, 7 or 8. And I think I saw... I didn't know what it was at the time. But I found out, like, a year or two later. I think it was Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And that movie scared the piss out of me when I was little. And for a long time, I was like, oh, that fucking movie, it was so scary, shit like that. And then I saw it again, like, in my 20s or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? That is not scary at all. It's actually kind of more of a comedy, really. It's like a horror comedy. And I was just kind of like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Like, why that scared me so bad.
I don't know.
But... I still don't know. I'm just, like, completely mystified. I think I've said this before, but another thing that used to scare the crap out of me as a kid, and I still have no explanation for this, it's not even a movie. It was a sound effect. You know the song Monster Mash?
Yeah.
And you know how it has, at the beginning, it has a bubbling cauldron sound? Yeah. That used to scare the shit out of me. So much so that, because we had the record.
Yeah, I remember it. They used to play the record.
Yeah, we had the record at home. Yeah. And it's like, when that... I liked the song, but I had to leave the room
when that bubbling
was the first. I don't know why it scared me so bad. I still can't explain it. I was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, it's like really traumatized me. I don't know why.
We revisited. We revisited some sci-fi shit that I grew up with. We saw Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone with Molly Ringwald, and then we saw Battle Beyond the Stars. Battle Beyond the Stars. I remember not liking it as a kid. I just thought it was like a cheap Star Wars knockoff.
Which it kind of is.
Which it is. Although the sets were not as bad as I remembered it. But the dialogue and the aliens are cheesy. The story's fucking flimsy. And it's bad.
It has Sybil Danning's tits in it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, partially.
That's probably why. And the hilarious thing about it is that she's like that was like the one thing. He remembered the outfit and everything.
The outfit, yeah, I remembered it.
And the hilarious thing is she's like a Valkyrie, which she's like a space Valkyrie or whatever, because that's the thing that they have. She's the only one you ever see. So she has kind of a Viking-y sort of outfit, but it's like this kind of, it's a bra, but it's like skeleton fingers.
Well, it looks like, but it isn't. It's crystals.
Okay.
It's like,
but it kind of looks like skeleton
silver
fingers.
Flames or something.
But the hilarious thing is that in her ship, which is like a small ship, but it's like supposed to be the fastest one in the universe or whatever the hell. When she's flying it, she's way back, laying on her back in the set, and she's just like heaving.
Yeah, the boobs are just like that. Yeah.
Like the whole while she's flying the ship.
That's because
and I was just like, it made me laugh so hard.
They're trying to get every inch of her into that movie.
It made me laugh so hard.
She's not that big. I checked.
And she looks like super uncomfortable too.
She looks super huge in that outfit. But you know, there's a lot of nude photos of her. She's not that big. Jen's bigger. But that fucking bra it just magnifies everything that she
It did. And the way that they shot her, the fact that they would lay her down when she was flying the ship, which seemed really impractical.
She's in the shadow of her own titties.
Right, exactly. So it's like, so you see this like underside of the boobs. Like and like I said, she's like, because you could tell that she was that outfit was maybe like kind of tight.
Well, it had a corset.
And and so she was kind of in a, because look, I wear corsets too, so I know if it's too tight, you're just there going,
yeah,
like you're trying to breathe and everything, and that side kind of seemed like what she was doing.
Yeah, Battle Beyond the Stars didn't hold up, not for me. But Space Hunter was much better than I remembered it, because I had only seen that one on television, and old CRT's television wasn't HD, so it just made everything look like shit. You see the new HD version, you can see it free on Tubi. That's a good movie. It's fun. It's fun and it's well made. Yeah, I like the story and everything.
With Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald. She's like 15 in it. It's kind of like a Mad Max in space. You know, they're not in space. They're in a desert planet.
I mean, they're technically we're in space.
Yeah,
if you want to put it.
The director was the same dude that did Ghostbusters. We reviewed it.
He produced.
Yeah.
The movie. Ivan Reitman produced it.
He didn't direct?
No.
Okay.
He's a different director.
It had the one dude from Ghostbusters in it, though, too. Guy played Washington.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson. The black dude. Yeah, he's in it.
Winston Zeddemore from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I still think Ghostbusters is the best comedy of the 80s. Fight me. I don't think anybody will fight me about that. Yeah. I don't think that's a super controversial opinion.
Space Hunter had really good sets and custom vehicles and good writing. And a lot of good ideas in it. They never made another one, though. Probably should have made another one. Looking at it now.
I guess it probably didn't do well enough.
It probably did well.
I don't think it did.
Yeah.
I think it made money, but not
what they thought.
Yeah. Senor Stick said, Jenny, is that an outfit you could wear?
Jen would blow that outfit out of the fucking water. Jen would look even bigger.
It looked kind of cheesy. Well, like the headdress looked kind of cheesy. It was a little much. It looked like it was made of styrofoam.
Yeah, silver styrofoam.
Is what it looked like.
Yeah,
if you could get a better one,
looked like a silver fucking.
But it was too close down on her forehead.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to push it.
Shit, am I gonna have him fucking get a picture of the outfit?
I kept trying to want to push it back.
I might get a picture of the outfit.
Yeah, he'll get a picture of the outfit. I was like, that'd make a good Halloween costume, probably. But it would have to look better than that, though. Because obviously it's pretty low budget. Zach is talking about spider movies. He says, I think that movie, I think he's talking about Eight-Legged Freaks maybe, and Arachnophobia are what gave me arachnophobia as a kid. I saw them way too young. I like spider movies, but honestly, I'm not scared of spiders. Spiders don't bother me. Now, cockroaches, on the other hand, that's a completely different kettle of fish. I'm not scared of spiders or snakes, but I do not like cockroaches at all. So, that's my thing.
Okay, that is an action figure. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, CB said, yeah, in Greece, Olivia Newton-John had to be stitched into her outfit in the end. Yeah, those fucking pants, man. They had to sew her into those. They were, like, super tight. She's like, can I pee, or...
That's the outfit.
Yeah, see, the headdress is a little cheeseball.
Yeah.
Like, if you could make one out of metal, it would probably, like, weigh a ton. Or something that looked like metal.
See if I can get that better angle of her on her back.
Because, man,
there it is. That
just made me laugh, like, so hard.
They've immortalized that shit.
Of course.
Yeah. And
it's like I kept making jokes about it. It's like, who drove this last? They put the seat all the way back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It made me laugh so hard. Senor Stick says, gave us a super chat. Thank you very much. Tom, will you go forth and kill your own turkey?
No,
No, we're not gonna do that.
We got a ham.
Yeah, we have some frozen turkeys left over from Thanksgiving, but we're actually doing a ham for Christmas.
That's her on her back flying the ship with her boobs in the air. But when you see
it's like so impractical.
When you see it in the movie, though, it's a lot more fucking obvious of what they're doing.
Yeah, it's just so.
That's actually.
And like I said, she's just heaving, like the boob is heaving. And it's just like every time I saw that, it made me laugh. Well, because one thing about a lot of cheap sci-fi, we were kind of talking about this while we were watching the movie, is that they just want teenage boys to watch it. So it's like, so they'll put all the female characters in these super skimpy, like super impractical outfits.
Yeah.
And it's just like super funny because I'm like, and they're running around flying spaceships and running around on like desert planets and shit like that. I'm like, they would just wear practical ass clothes, you know what I mean? Just like jeans or leggings or boots and stuff like that. You wouldn't wear this tiny little, because I was like, that kind of outfit takes a long time to get into. There's like lots of little pieces and all this other kind of stuff, and it's not really practical for like running around doing stuff in.
Yeah,
like,
they're trying to
right. Like I said,
tickets though.
Like I said, in real life though.
Yeah.
In real life, you would not be wearing that.
Yeah.
Because. Yeah. Like I said, the headpiece, like the sides of it, kind of look like curlers.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to sing Beauty School Dropout, like when I just see the sides of it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
although it didn't look red in the movie, it looked brown like this. So I guess it has to do with the color treatment.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like in the movie.
So see what I mean? It kind of looks like skeleton fingers, like kind of over
There's some
boobies.
cheap ass looking boots too.
That's what I mean. It just kind of looked like you could do a really good version of that if you got good materials, but the version that's in the movie is just like
seen test photos of it.
It looks super cheeseball.
Yeah.
That was kind of.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. She's wearing that top.
See, it looks better without the head.
She's wearing that top, and that's a. I guess it probably, at the conventions.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jen's like twice that size.
I mean, they look big, but
Jen's shit would be fucking rubbing together and it'd be coming out on the side and shit.
It would be flopping.
Yeah, she's got a space in
between her boobs. It'd be flopping all over the place.
Yeah, there's barely enough room for Jen's boobs on her chest.
There's barely enough room.
They're touching each other. Yeah.
I mean, they're not that. I mean, I've seen like way bigger, but they are kind of. Yeah. I'm not. They're not so big that I have like back problems. Well, not yet, anyway.
Well, not anymore. We're working out, man. You get strong.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You shouldn't have that problem once you build up some muscle mass, build your back up.
Yeah, Senor Six said the outfit is a bit much. It is a bit much, I thought. Like I said, it's just not real practical to fly a spaceship in that outfit. That's all I was thinking. It's like, look, I can't even drive in platform boots, okay? I have to take my shoes off and drive in bare feet. So, I can't imagine having this big headdress and all this other kind of stuff on. Forget it. Phantom says, supposedly, Nicole Kidman broke a rib wearing a corset in the film Moulin Rouge.
Huh.
That's another movie we should probably do, because I love that movie. I mean, I wear corsets all the time, but I don't, I do them tight, but not that fucking tight.
That was a much better movie, Space Hunter. Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, it's
a much better movie.
We just reviewed that the other day. Case and Lee says, Grease, good or cheesy?
Good.
You know what? I know they might like take away my goth card.
It's a musical, man.
But I kind of love Grease.
Yeah.
I also kind of like Grease too.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to throw tomatoes at me.
Well, hey, it's got Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
Michelle Pfeiffer's in it.
She's young and she's fucking real good looking in it, and
there's something just really charming to me about Grease too.
And that one's about motorcyclists.
Yeah.
Motorcycles, not so much cars. But no, Grease is good. Grease is an old musical. I think it's from the 60s or the 70s. About high school, about boomers going to high school. That movie was filmed at Myrna Loy High in California. My mother went to that high school.
Yeah.
Now, not all of it is filmed in the high school, but when they show outside, that's my mom's high school. It's called Venice, in Venice Beach. I think it was Venice Beach, yeah. Myrna Loy. No, Venice. Might have been Venice High, and it's Myrna Loy. There's a statue of Myrna Loy out in the front of it, and the arms were usually broken off. So my mom really liked it. And she took me to see it when I was a kid, like 3 or 4 fucking times. And during those days, they played all those fucking songs on the radio. Hopelessly Devoted to You, they played that fucking Olivia Newton-John. Yeah. And I don't think that was originally in the play. I think they added that.
They did, yeah. For her.
Yeah. And they changed it up. In the original play, Sandy was a Mormon.
Yeah.
And in this one, they because she's from Australia, because they didn't have Mormons in Australia, it didn't really make much sense. So they said that she was just some girl from Australia.
But she was just kind of sheltered, you know?
Yeah, but it makes more sense when you're watching it that she's a Mormon.
It does make more sense because because she's like
she
doesn't drink and she can't go anywhere and she's super sheltered and all this other kind of stuff. So when you see it, but in the original play she was a Mormon.
Yeah. Now it's not real serious, but it's kind of it's a good representation of stereotypical boomer high school experience that really, you know, if you were Gen X going in the 80s, high school was still kind of like that.
It was still kind of like
we weren't wearing those clothes, but it was still kind of like that. Same situation. And yeah, the kids were bad. They were all fucking having sex and all kinds of shit, fucking smoking in school, and you know.
They were.
Yeah, and it was like that back in the 60s, 50s too, probably. Just you didn't hear about it.
Yeah. They got away with it a lot more.
Now another one that I like is so fucking bad it's good. It's got really good music. It's Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band.
I kind of also love that.
Yeah.
Have we reviewed that?
No, we should.
Oh, bitch.
Maybe
okay.
We should see that one again.
We need to.
All right. What this is...
I love that movie. It's so bad.
They took a bunch of Beatles songs, okay, and tried to make a narrative out of it.
Good luck with that.
Where the Bee Gees are singing a lot of it, and the Bee Gees are the fucking heroes, and they're fighting these bad guys.
The Bee Gees and Peter Frampton.
Yeah, and now the bad guys are rock stars. You got fucking Aerosmith in there.
Alice Cooper.
You got Alice Cooper in there. You got I don't remember what else, but anyway,
Steve Martin is in there.
Steve Martin's in it. Yeah,
playing Dr. Maxwell.
Yeah, Dr. Maxwell
of Silver Hammer fame.
Yeah, so you don't watch that one for. It's still very enjoyable to watch, but just think of it as one big long music video album that kind of has a narrative to it.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
But that's okay.
No, it's just the Bee Gees saved the world.
Pretty much.
Basically. And the Bee Gees are kind of acting as the Beatles in a way.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But they're not the Beatles, but they're Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah.
And there's a town.
That's a Beatles album.
It takes place in like a, I don't want to say it's like an alternate dimension or an alternate universe, because it's kind of like the real world, but it's kind of not, because it also has like a little bit of a fantasy element.
Yeah, there's robots in it.
Because there's like robots and like magic and people come back from the dead and shit like that. It's like
brainwashing facilities.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. It's insane. Yeah. Like when I talk about it like that, because when I was a kid, I was just like, wow, neat. Like I didn't really think about it, but now that I think about
Aerosmith fucking singing, fucking.
You know what?
He was great in that.
They did Come Together, and I think that might be one of my favorite Beatles covers. And I don't even really like Aerosmith that much, but that was a great cover.
All the songs on it are good. In Sgt. Pepper's, and you can probably see that free on Tubi also.
We should look that up.
And then, like the third choice, I would recommend Xanadu.
Yeah.
Which is
that is like super cheesy.
Olivia Newton-John comes to the Earth. She's one of the Greek muses.
Sure.
Comes to the Earth to help artists, and there's all kinds of and it turns out she helped several generations of artists, and there's many of these muses, and Olivia Newton-John plays one of the muse, and she is in California helping him do. He was a painter, wasn't he?
Didn't he? Well, yeah.
He started off as a painter, right?
I thought so.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the whole
another
thing...
dude was a dancer. The old guy, wasn't that Fred Astaire?
Yeah.
And he
wanted to open a club.
Yeah.
That's what she helped him do.
That's right.
Which was called Xanadu.
Xanadu was good. And Olivia looks great in it, and she fucking sings a lot of cool songs.
She roller skates.
Roller skates in it, sings fucking Xanadu and shit. But you see...
I get that song stuck in my head like all the time. You don't even know. It's on my Spotify playlist. That's why.
You watch musicals. Usually when you're with a woman and you're drinking, and you're at home. That's really the best way to do it. And you're drinking or smoking or whatever, and fucking watching this musical, and you're singing along with it.
Sure.
But you're also kind of goofing on it, but you love it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of the same thing with. I've seen Grease like a million times. I think I have it memorized. I'm not a huge musicals fan. I don't like the cheeseball ones, but I actually do like a lot of musicals. Although I tend to like the ones that are kind of sideways, you know what I mean? Like, Rocky Horror and Hedwig and the Angry Inch and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like I said, some of them are pretty good. It's funny, you wouldn't think that Tom likes musicals, but he did, theater back in high school, and he sang in musicals. So he still has like a little bit of a soft spot for. And I absolutely have, on our Driving to the Club Spotify playlist, I have like a lot of like goth industrial on there too. Like, I'm not weird or anything, but it's just kind of like, I also have a couple songs from Xanadu. I have the theme song, and I have Magic, the Olivia Newton-John song, and I have a bunch of songs from Grease. I have the title song, I have You're the One That I Want, and a couple of other ones. I don't think I have Hopelessly Devoted to You on there because that's like a little schmaltzy, but I have some of the other ones on there. And like, we still sing along with it too. Senor Stick says, Jenny, are you a Sandra D? Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Of all the Pink ladies, I think I'm a Jan out of the Pink ladies.
I don't remember which one that
Would
was.
you agree? She was the one that they called fat.
Yeah.
Like the Twinkie one. Says right here, it's a dessert wine. You know what I mean? That girl.
Most of them were cute. Most of them were cute. They were just different. I think they were all cute from what I remember.
She's like my spirit animal. Although Rizzo is awesome too.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm as cool as Rizzo. I think I'm a Jan.
Yeah, foreigners could learn a lot from that because it explains why Americans are the way they are, because most of them grew up in public schools, and that's the way it was in public schools, and there's lots of socialization and fucking getting in trouble and shit. But it's fun, and it's a good movie. Now, when I bought my copy, it came with another copy of a live television version of Grease that was done, what was it, 2018 maybe?
Yeah, it was a couple years back.
And they broadcasted it live. I think it was about 3 hours long.
Yeah, it was long. Well, they did the whole play because the movie, they cut some of the songs out.
Yeah, so it has all the original songs. Now, they cut the commercials out of the version you can find, but the live version is good too.
It is. It's very good.
What I like about the live version is that the people kind of sing better. They dance better. And the casting is more on point. Danny does look like he's pretty, like, fucking, in the story, all the girls fucking like Danny. And he's played by
John Travolta.
But when you look at him, he's kind of a skinny, geeky kid. All right? Doesn't look like the kind of kid that actually girls would be into that much. The television Danny now, he looks like, he's pretty fucking jacked.
He's like a James Dean.
Like a James
type.
Dean, yeah. More handsome, fucking wearing a lot of leather jackets.
I kind of felt like Kaneki was like better looking in the original movie.
Yeah, well, in the television version, Kaneki's good looking too. They ran the school.
Yeah.
All the girls wanted him. And they were kind of bums. They didn't have any money.
Yeah.
They were they were getting money off the girls, making them pay for shit. Because they had jobs.
Yeah, they kind of talked about that in the original movie too.
Yeah.
When they were at the diner or whatever. I don't know where all my money goes.
Yeah. I recommend them both. They're good. The classic is great. Fun.
I was laughing because CB said up here something about Grease. Said, I love the fact that Rizzo got mad with Kaneki when she had her pregnancy scare. If she didn't want to get pregnant, then don't fuck. Yeah, it was her idea because he had the rubber.
Yeah.
And then it broke.
Kind of broke.
And then he was like, I've had it in here since the 7th grade, which I thought was like really funny.
Which means that he'd never been laid. He's a virgin.
That's what I thought that was the implication.
Of course.
Like he was supposed to be all cool and everything, but he hasn't used it.
No, he's never used it.
For years and years.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, okay, we see.
She's like, fuck it.
And then she was like, fuck it, let's do it anyway.
Yeah. And she got pregnant.
Yeah, so, well, no, she didn't get pregnant.
She didn't get pregnant. She thought she was pregnant. Yeah. That's kind of a spoiler.
Lady with a baby. You know,
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's an old movie.
Yeah, and all the girls were talking about her.
Yeah. Look at that slut over there.
And she has to sing a whole song of like, fuck it, I can survive on my own. What was the name of that song?
There are worse things I could do.
Yeah, there are worse things I could do, yeah.
I like that bit. I mean,
Yeah.
Stockard Channing was like clearly in her 30s.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to say.
But she played Rizzo in the stage play. That's why they wanted her for the movie. So yeah, she's obviously too old to be in high school, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you still buy it.
It's supposed to be in high school and everybody's in their 30s.
Yeah, they are.
And the bad guys, what they called the Scorpions?
Yeah.
from the other school. Those dudes are in their 40s.
That dude that was like the head of the Scorpions, I'm like, that dude's old as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was just because, well, his face was real pockmarked.
Yeah.
So I think that made him look a little bit, he might not have been as old as he looked.
Yeah.
Another thing, here's the thing, and I think we've talked about this on the show before, but you know the scene where they do National Bandstand?
Yeah.
And they're on TV and it's live and everything, and then John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John are dancing, like, in the middle, and, you know, they're on TV and everybody's like, ooh, maybe they're gonna win and all this other kind of stuff, and then Cha-Cha, like, fucking John Travolta's ex, what was his name? Danny's ex-girlfriend, who he denies was his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and they're trading her off between two gangs.
And then she comes in there and swoops him away, and he's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then Sandy's like, oh, okay, fuck me then, I guess.
Yeah, and she ran.
And then she leaves, and it's just, well, he just, like, he just forgot about her.
Yeah.
And then she's mad at him, understandably, but he was just like, oh, you know, we didn't go out or whatever. And then, like, but I was like, holy crap, like, you just humiliated your supposed girlfriend, like, on national TV in front of everybody. Like, I wouldn't forgive you if you did that.
In the television version, it didn't quite go down that way, though. She didn't leave, did she?
I don't remember how they did it. Yeah, in the movie,
yeah,
like Cha-Cha comes in and is basically like, "Hey, he's mine now," and he's just like, "Okay."
Yeah, and
then she's just like, "Oh, okay."
Sandy gets driven off.
Bye.
But I don't think in the television version that's what happened, because I don't think that's what happened in the stage play.
Yeah, I don't remember.
She stands her ground or something. And
that'd been cool if there'd have been like a girl fight.
Yeah, if I remember.
But Sandy, but Sandy wasn't that type of. Sandy wouldn't get in a girl fight.
I don't remember her.
If it was Rizzo, she would get in a girl fight, but Sandy would not get in a girl fight. You know what I mean? She's just not that type of girl. But yeah, I don't know. I was just that made me mad on behalf of a fictional character, because I was just kind of like, man, if somebody did that to me, I would like punch him in the balls. Fuck that. That's messed up. Like, it's bad enough you do that when nobody's looking, but to do that in front of like a national audience, I'd be like, oh no, you're not getting forgiven for that, buddy.
Who's that? Stick says, did she put up a fight? That was a strange line. Yeah. Well, fucking back in that era, guys would try to make out with some girl and she'd be resistant. But she probably wasn't really resistant. She just had to put up a fight to protect her honor. You know.
Either that or dudes just thought that.
Well, they were on dates with him, and a lot of times they just repeated it. They kept going back. So, you know. But, yeah, there was a lot of shit that's in there that's real questionable. But that's the thing is that the stage play is fucking filthy.
It is, yeah. They actually like toned it way down for the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stage play, like some of the songs, actually, even if you listen to the words, well, particularly "Grease Lightning."
Yeah.
I think they actually did in the movie version from the 70s. They still have the filthy words in that, right?
Where?
In the 70s movie.
Some of it.
I think it's a lot worse.
They don't ever say
fuck
or anything like that in it.
No.
But they say it in the stage play.
Yeah, like I said, the stage play is like way filthier.
Yeah. Another thing that they did is that because the made for television live one, and it's got good sets, and they walk through the people in the play, they cover a large distance, you know, dancing it out in public, and people, you can see the audience in the back watching them. They don't hide them. And then they go into the next room, and there's the next scenes in there. It was good how they did it. Cool.
Yeah, it was all like kind of choreographed.
Yeah, it was all choreographed outside.
And sometimes they'd go outside, like, and go into another studio. And
it was all done in one take, and it was good, real good. Well, not one take, but it was just all done in one day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they rehearsed it like 40 times,
of course,
like to make sure they didn't mess it up.
But it was live.
Yeah,
they were doing it live,
and nobody messed up. I didn't see anybody mess up.
And there was a character in the movie called Eugene, and they just make fun of Eugene. You never really see Eugene again until the very end when they're singing in the fucking cars going through the air. But in the made-for-TV one, Eugene was a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
And he figured out how to fucking retune a carburetor to get like some boost so they could win that race.
Yeah.
So Eugene became a T-Bird.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Because he helped him win the race.
Because he helped him win, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. They probably should have put that in the movie, honestly.
I don't think there was time.
Maybe not. Because they did, like I said, the stage play is long.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff goes on.
The original story kind of homaged all the different cliques that were in schools, you know, fucking greasers, fucking jocks, cheerleaders, nerds, you know.
Nerds.
And you know, Eugene was a nerd.
Well, yeah, big time.
But he got accepted.
He's played by fucking Eddie Deason.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah.
That poor guy, I just feel, well, I mean, not poor guy. He had a career, obviously, but that's all he could play.
Yeah.
It was like that kind of character. Every time I saw him in a movie, he was always playing that same fucking character. But you know what I mean. What's
the woman with the movie without? That was Battle Beyond the Stars.
Battle Beyond the Stars?
Yeah.
That was man, my shit's empty. That was Sybil Danning.
Sybil Danning, yeah.
Who was in like a bunch of.
Pour it in there and drink it.
Okay. Who was in a bunch of kind of B movies for her titties and whatnot. Man, she was in something else that we watched the other day, but I can't remember what. Did you see John Travolta get really emotional when paying tribute to Olivia Newton-John? I heard about it, but I didn't see it. But I mean, he was good in that movie. Like I said, he's not what I pictured. Like I said, when they did the live one a couple years back, like that dude was kind of more what I would have pictured, like for that character. But John Travolta did good. You know, I'm just so used to him in that part that. Although, on the other hand, he was also a couple years before Grease. He was in fucking Carrie, and he played what's her name's boyfriend, the one that killed the pig with the mallet or whatever. So he was like a bad guy in that. But he seemed like, especially in the 70s, he seemed really good at playing these kind of like lunk-headed high school kids, you know? Well, I guess because he was on, wasn't he on fucking Welcome Back, Kotter?
Who?
John Travolta.
Oh yeah.
Was that where he got his start?
That's where he got his start.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that show.
Yeah.
And I remember he was just kind of this dopey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he always kind of, throughout the 70s, I kind of feel like he always played characters like that.
Yeah, case in Battle Beyond the Stars was a 1980 Roger Corman Star Wars ripoff. It wasn't his best ripoff. It's entertaining, but I wouldn't call it a good movie, okay? And it's only entertaining maybe when you look at it in a certain way. You might actually think it's boring, because, you know, things have advanced a lot since 1980. The acting and the dialogue's not very good.
It has John Boy from the Waltons.
It's about nothing but a lot of famous people are in it. It's weird.
And Robert Vaughn is in it.
Yeah, but that's not the best Roger Corman sci-fi ripoff. The best Roger Corman sci-fi ripoff is fucking Galaxy of Terror. Galaxy of Terror. And it's an alien ripoff. And it's the special effects were done by, what was that guy's name? Fucking dude that did Alien 2, Aliens.
James Cameron.
That was James Cameron in the first movie. And it looks really good. It does look like something out of Aliens.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Did a good job.
For as the $150 that they spent on that movie.
Yeah. They saw that fucking Galaxy of Terror, like, man, that shit looks good. Who did that? He goes, this dude James Cameron. He's going to make the next Alien movie. So the dude that was on an Alien ripoff did the next Alien movie, Aliens.
Yeah. That's what happened. I mean, Roger Corman had a talent not only for making movies that always made money and always came in under budget, but for kind of mentoring people that became very famous later on, particularly directors. So,
in case in Galaxy of Terror, there's a famous scene where a real hot space chick gets sexually molested by a gigantic caterpillar, and she likes it.
It's something.
Yeah, she's stacked. She's built real well. Yeah.
I feel like when people talk about Galaxy of Terror, like I said, I think that's
we
the
would
one
stay
scene
up
everybody
just to watch
remembers.
that scene. We would be kids. We were boys. We would stay up and watch that scene.
I bet back in the VHS days, like that scene was probably like all fucking
all fucked up.
Fucked up because people kept rewinding it and watching it over and over,
jerking it to that fucking scene.
Wait, it's over. Back it up. I'm not done.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that was happening a lot.
But
did you ever do that, Tom?
No.
To that particular scene?
No. But that, you know why? Because back in those days, man, fucking VCRs were fucking huge. You didn't really own one. An adult owned one.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do? Jerk it in their living room?
That's true.
You
well, you wait till they're not home, maybe.
No, it just didn't work. It didn't really work out that way.
You didn't?
No.
You don't remember any particular...
My mom didn't have one.
You don't remember any particular movie scenes that you did that too?
No. My mom didn't have a VCR.
Really?
Not until much later.
We had... Well, my dad was real into, like, tech stuff, so we had a Betamax.
Okay.
And then later on, it's funny because my uncle was all like, oh, Betamax is going to be better, blah, blah, blah. So he had a Betamax for a lot, and my dad's like, I don't think Betamax is going to make it. We're going to get a VHS.
But out of all the movies that we're talking about, Kason, they're not that good. Even Galaxy of Terror isn't that good. It's not as good as Space Hunter. Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone is a pretty good movie. I liked it. You'd probably like that one. It's free. You can see it on Tubi.
There's a lot of movies like that. Like I said, I kind of feel like in the 80s, there was like a big thing of like sci-fi adventure type of movies. It was like a really big thing. Zach says, I still think Blowout is my favorite John Travolta movie. That is a great movie, actually.
I don't remember that one.
We did a review of it a while back. That's De Palma, right? That's Brian De Palma.
Oh, yeah.
The one with where he films the car accident.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they start coming after him because of like all of that. Yeah, that was like a good... Yeah, Mackie Mac says, I remember for DVD there was Laserdisc. Yeah, I worked in a record store in 1993, and there was, Laserdisc was just getting kind of big, but it was still kind of a niche thing. So it's like, so we had records and tapes, and some CDs, like CDs were, yeah, I guess we had some CDs too. But Laserdisc, we had like 2 or 3 like racks of them.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever... When I worked there, I don't think I ever sold a single
Laserdisc was expensive back then, and it was before VHS. It was before VHS. I remember one of my friend's parents had it in California, and they had a copy of Excalibur, and it looked fucking fantastic, even on those old CRT televisions. And the disc, it was like a DVD, but it was the size of a record album.
Yeah,
you had to put it in there. I think it was like a cassette. It wasn't an album. It was a cassette, wasn't it, with the album in it? I don't really remember. It's been a long time since I've seen one.
And you had to flip it over.
You had to flip it over,
like halfway through.
That's right. And that was around for a long time. It gave like superior quality over VHS. Before DVD. They even were coming out in the mid to late 90s with porn on Laserdisc. Big Laserdisc. I remember seeing it in Boston. Like in the bookshops.
Man, you'd have to be like really committed to like your porn
they were
to be spending that, because that shit was like
expensive.
Not cheap.
It was like $80 for a disc.
Yeah.
And back then, and I think in the 70s when that shit came out, the late 70s, it was like $100 for a movie, maybe $125.
And he's like, look, this is my pristine copy of Ass Blasters 5000.
Yeah, you might have only had a lot of people only had maybe 6 or 7 movies. It was like a big deal.
Yeah.
They went Star Wars. And Excalibur. I'm trying to think of another one that was real common back then. The Jerk.
Oh, yeah.
Remember The Jerk?
Man, you know what? I heard somebody talking about The Jerk the other day.
Yeah.
It was actually like a young person that had never seen it, and they said they just watched it, and they were like, that was one of the funniest things they'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I remember that movie being really funny.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it in like
it's
forever.
Kind of funny. Yeah.
I'm going to say, though, if we're talking about Steve Martin movies, I will still go to bat for The Man with Two Brains, which is still, I think, one of the funniest movies ever made.
But what was it?
The Man with Two Brains.
Oh, yeah. haven't seen it in a long time.
We reviewed it a while back. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
Had Merv Griffin in it. Right? Yeah.
You're the elevator killer.
Yeah.
Merv Griffin.
Yeah, it had that fucking...
I just really enjoy killing.
They had that blonde... She was a hooker, I think. She was stacked as hell, remember? She had the squeaky voice.
Yeah.
Wasn't she a hooker?
Yeah. She was like an escort.
Yeah.
What's the matter with my voice?
Yeah.
She was like, oh my god, I love that movie so much.
She opened her coat or something. And she was like fucking stunning. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Well, because remember, the whole premise of the movie...
He was looking for the perfect body.
Is that... Okay, it's going to sound weird. Steve Martin's character is like a neurosurgeon. And he marries Kathleen Turner, who is a straight up thunder cunt.
Yeah.
And she gets killed... And then he falls in love with... He has a friend named Dr. Necessiter, who's played by David Warner, who's great in this. It's kind of like a Frankenstein-y kind of thing. And Dr. Necessiter has all of these brains that he keeps alive in jars. And so Steve Martin's character falls in love with a disembodied brain who is voiced by Sissy Spacek. And so he decides that he's going to go and find a body to put her in because he's fallen in love with the brain. Yeah. So at first he goes around trying to find like a super hot body, hence why there's all of that shenanigans going on. But yeah, it's just the whole premise of it is just hilarious to me. And it's like, it's kind of a dark comedy. And like I said, Merv Griffin is a serial killer in it. So it's just like, how can, like, kind of in the periphery. So how can you not love that?
Make chat said something about, just saw Dagon the other night and it made me laugh. Fish zombie.
Yeah.
Fish zombie life people and Kinky Tentacle Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good movie. I have it.
I was going to do a costume of her, but I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, because you got to have a fucking wheelchair and all
that. Yeah,
you
need a wheelchair and tentacles and stuff. But that would be so epic if you could fucking do that. If you had somebody to push you around at the convention.
Yeah, that's not a really an original concept. That's fucking H.P. Lovecraft. What's it? Something
Shadow over Innsmouth.
Yeah. They just
so it's not there.
Location.
He has a story named Dagon, but that's not an adaptation of the story Dagon.
No, Dagon was a sea god.
It kind of has elements of that, but that's actually almost an adaptation of Shadow over Innsmouth.
And that was a great movie, though.
I really liked that. It's one of the most Lovecrafty of the Lovecraft adaptations. There's really not a lot of great Lovecraft adaptations. Like, not a lot of great direct Lovecraft adaptations.
It was pretty much the same studio in a new format. Same studio that did From Beyond and Reanimator. I think they did Bride of Reanimator. Yeah. They did a lot of Jeffrey Combs movies.
Yeah.
So that one character in there is kind of like a Jeffrey Combs stand-in. He's got glasses and he looks just like a Jeffrey Combs type character. But evidently they couldn't get him for the movie. But there's a bunch of Spanish actors in there. That girl, the tentacle girl, was a Spanish actress.
That's where they shot it.
That's where they shot it. Yeah.
Well, they shot one of the later Reanimator movies there too, because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
I think it was Beyond Reanimator.
It's a good movie. Beyond Reanimator.
Which actually, the one in the prison.
Yeah, in the prison.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
I liked that too. All the Reanimator movies
They're
are good.
They're all good. Yeah. Now the old guy that the priest of Dagon skinned alive, that dude was like a really famous kind of legendary Spanish actor.
Yeah.
And he died soon after that.
Yeah.
He drank a lot, from what they say. Drank a lot, and but
he drank a lot in the movie too.
Yeah, he drank a lot, and they were making because I have a special release DVD in Steelbook of that movie, like the best copy you can get, and it had a bunch of documentaries on it and extra shit, and they were saying that that dude was really cool. He understood the role and what was happening. They just kind of let him do whatever he wanted to do. He kind of came up with all that, the way he said, and what was it? Fucking Dagon bringing gold. What would they do? They would remember that Dagon started just bringing gold.
Yeah.
Once they fucking threw down the crosses and got rid of the church. It was golden fish, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, gold and food from the sea, and then that island.
That was Box from that fucking other movie.
No,
that robot.
But it was food from the sea.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying that like that reminded me. The way you said it reminded me of Box, that robot from fucking. Was that Logan's Run?
Logan's Run. Yeah. But Dagon fucking seduced the fucking town, and over time they started to turn into fish. So they could rejoin Dagon in the deeps of the ocean.
Yes, they all had gills.
They started growing gills and stuff. That's a cool idea. That's like some shit Lovecraft would come up with.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
I mean,
but no, I mean he didn't write that script. But
he wrote the story.
The ideas
that
were there,
kind of based on.
Yeah.
Illuminated Pro is asking Christmas movies and support or forego Christmas traditions.
No, they're all right. They're good. I actually like Christmas Chronicles 1 with fucking Kurt Russell. 2's not quite as good, but it's okay.
Yeah, it has Belsnickel in it.
Yeah.
But
I kind of like the first one the best.
Yeah, I mean we pretty much watch the first one every year. What do we usually watch? I almost always watch Black Christmas, the original from 1974. We usually watch Die Hard.
Yeah.
I think we watched Die Hard last year. I usually try to watch the Rankin Bass Christmas specials, at least Rudolph, the one with the Bumble. And I'm trying to think of like what other Christmas horror movies. Oh, I really like A Christmas Horror Story. I think it came out in 2016. It's like an anthology. And it has William Shatner, like, in the wraparound.
Yeah.
And it has Santa fighting Krampus at the end with, like, zombie elves, which is great.
Gallo Fox mentions that he liked Color Out of Space. I have that on Blu-ray, too.
Yeah, that was good, too. That was a really good adaptation,
I've only seen it once, though. I got to see it again. I've only seen it once. I liked it. I just want to see it again.
I will go to... And I did, like, a long review of this on my Flickers of Fear thing. They made a movie back in... Was it 60s or early 70s? Of the Dunwich Horror.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
And it kind of got shit on, like, at the time, but, like, I watched it and I was like, this is pretty fucking good. Yeah. I thought it was pretty fucking good. Yeah. They did make some changes to the story, but, and speaking of Sandra Dee, she was in it. But yeah, so, I don't know, I kind of feel like it got unfairly shit on. It's not, like, the most accurate Lovecraft adaptation I've ever seen, but I kind of feel like the best Lovecraft movies are just based on the universe he created rather than being like a straight up adaptation of one of his stories. You know? Like, there have been some good adaptations of his stories, but a lot of them seem to fall, I guess because so much of his work is concerned with stuff that's like indescribable. You know what I mean? That's kind of like a big part of what made his shit scary. So it's like when something's indescribable, it's kind of hard to, like, put it on screen in a way that people aren't going to go, oh. You know what I mean? Like, it's better to just, like, leave it to your imagination. So I think that's kind of why. But I think, like, Lovecraftian horror, like, something in that vein, you know, like The Thing or, I don't know, The Void or The Endless or Annihilation or something like that, which kind of has a Lovecraftian flavor to it, but isn't based on a Lovecraft story directly, those tend to come out a lot better. But there have been, like, some good... like I said, I liked the Dunwich Horror. It had what's-his-face in it. What the fuck is that actor's name? Mm-hmm. God damn it. I'll think of it in a minute.
There's another one that's kind of a lost and forgotten one that I really liked. It had Jeffrey Combs in it. And that's where he plays H.P. Lovecraft in it, remember?
Yeah, Necronomicon.
And you can't get a copy of it anymore. I guess nobody owns it, or I don't know. You'd think...
Yeah, it must have fallen into some weird licensing hole or something.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, really hard to get hold of.
Yeah, but it's good. It's real good.
I really liked it.
It was as good as fucking Reanimator and From Beyond. And he's wearing prosthetics to look like Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And he's talking with the Egyptian guys who had the old fucking books, and trying to find the Necronomicon. But then there's a bunch of other stories. It's almost kind of like
it's an anthology.
An anthology.
Kind of.
Yeah. And that last one was wild, man. With the fucking subterranean fucking flesh-colored bats that were eating people and going inside their heads and shit. That was really creepy. Remember that?
Yeah.
They were transforming.
Illuminated Pro says Eyes Wide Shut for a Christmas film. Yeah, I guess technically it is a Christmas movie, isn't it? Mackie Mac says, imagine showing up to a Christmas party dressed as Krampus. I kind of feel like a lot of people...
In the goths, they do
yeah,
that.
Like, that's not weird to us.
That's not weird to us, yeah.
We get, like...
Yeah.
We get at least like 2 or 3 people showing up like dressed like Krampus.
The only thing you're not going to see is somebody dressed up as like Black Peter. Isn't that his name, Black Peter?
Oh, yeah.
You won't see that because that would be interpreted as blackface.
Well, it is
blackface, yeah.
I guess like in some parts...
They do it in Germany, though, and in
they
Switzerland.
They don't seem to care, but like that's kind of their whole thing.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of like, okay. Yeah, it's a little weird. Now, somebody's asking about Lovecraft Country, the series. Was it good? I never saw it. I should probably watch it one of these days. I've heard it was good, but I haven't seen it myself.
Yeah, yeah, High Desert. We were talking about the Spanish Lovecraft movies. There's a bunch of them. Dagon. Then Reanimator.
Beyond Reanimator was, I think, shot in Spain.
Yeah.
Because that was like later on, they kind of moved that production company to Spain because it was cheaper to shoot there. So they used Spanish crew.
What's frustrating about the Reanimator movies is that the last I checked, you couldn't get them in a set. They were sold separately because they're under different ownerships.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. It would be really cool if they did
expensive.
like a whole...
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days, like somebody will get their hands on like all the rights temporarily, and they'll put out like a cool like steelbook.
Yeah.
Kind of like they've done with all that, like with Aliens and Phantasm and all that kind of stuff. Because we got the Phantasm set, and we got the Psycho set that has all the 4 Psycho movies. Like we got that. But that's Universal.
The
they
most
own
consistent horror series in terms when it came to movies, for me, was Phantasm. It was consistently good, and it was consistent. It was making its own lore, and it remembered its own lore. fucking Reggie, the character Reggie, it was just a good movie. It was the brainchild of some person who loved it. There was only one movie. The second one wasn't made by the guy, but it stayed pretty close to what they wanted. That one's good, and I would say behind that, I'd probably say the Psycho series. All the Psycho movies.
Those are all good, yeah.
There's no,
which is crazy to think.
Yeah, there aren't any bad Psychos.
Yeah, I liked all the Psycho movies.
Yeah, and Perkins actually is writing a lot of those movies towards the end. He loved that character.
Yeah.
He had a lot in common with that guy. His mother was a very beautiful, famous actress, and she was having her way with him when he was a boy. It kind of fucked him up.
That's what we've heard. Well,
yeah. Well, no, he said that.
As it would.
He said that.
Yeah.
He said that his mother was fucking, making him do stuff. And, I don't know. I think that kind of put him off women.
Yeah, maybe.
I think some might do it. I don't know.
High Desert said From Beyond was really fucked up. It
Yeah.
was. I love that movie, though.
Yeah, great movie.
I love that movie. Senor Stick said, what was
That's more Lovecraft.
Yeah.
That's Lovecraft.
What was the one where Jeffrey Combs was an artist? Was he an artist in Castle Freak? Or no?
I don't remember.
Didn't he just, I remember, he inherited, because Barbara Crampton was in that, too. And he, they inherited, this Italian villa or castle or something.
You're saying the subspecies movies are cool, but I only remember the first one. Did we see the second one? I think we did, didn't we? And it was okay.
No,
We
but
didn't?
because I've been wanting to review those.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen this. No, I have seen the second one, but it was a long, long time ago. I don't really remember anything about it. We should probably do.
The second one was set the series.
Well, we haven't done the first one either.
Yeah.
Subspecies. I don't think we have. I'll go back and look through the catalog because we've done so many, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of a Christmas horror movie that we haven't done yet that we can do for Monday.
Yeah, High Desert says that the movie he's talking about is in Spanish language. He didn't think there's a...
Oh, okay.
But I think Dagon had a lot of Spanish in it. I think a lot of the characters spoke Spanish. The monsters. Remember?
Yeah, they did. Because it
was
like I
Spanish and
said,
English.
yeah, it was set in...
It was set in Spain. Or on an island.
What was the village called? Imboca?
Yeah, Imboca. Yeah. It was an island a fishing island off the coast of Spain. Yeah. Imboca. Inmouth.
Yeah.
Innsmouth. That's what they talk about.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty
Inmouth.
clever. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
American Military said, have you considered reviewing the controversial Christmas slasher Silent Night, Deadly Night? We might have already done that. I'd have to go look. If we haven't done that, maybe we'll do that one. I know we haven't done Silent Night, Bloody Night, which is a different one.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we've done that one. But I have to go back and check. Maybe we just thought about it and didn't do it.
Now, there's the best at the Mountains of Madness. No, it wasn't at the Mountains of Madness. It was the best one that had Cthulhu. That was in the Mountains of Madness, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Didn't that one that had Cthulhu in it?
I don't remember.
Mountains of Madness? No. Mountains of Madness had the Shaggoths and the old one in there. That was like The Thing. The Thing is a ripoff of At the Mountains of Madness, which is an alien city found in Antarctica with a bunch of frozen stuff that comes alive. And one of the things in there is a Shaggoth, which is exactly what you're seeing out of The Thing. That's a Shaggoth.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before, how The Thing is not...
It's Lovecraft.
It's not based on a Lovecraft story directly.
The monster
but
is,
it's Lovecraftian.
It's Lovecraft, yeah. That was
lore.
He took a Who Goes There, I think was the original.
Yeah, that was
story.
From the 30s, the guy that wrote the novel, and because they made a version of it in the 50s.
Yeah. Carpenter's reinterpreted it as if it's Lovecraftian, at the Mountains of Madness, which there's a Shaggoth in there, and he models the monster after the Shaggoth.
Yeah.
Which was, they had these aliens called the Old Ones that came here. They flew here through space. They didn't need a ship. And they brought the Shaggoth with them, and they were kind of like a slave race of amoebas. It was a giant amoeba. And they were using them for construction, but they were kind of mindless. They only had animal intelligence, but they could make any appendage they needed to get the job done. Well, the Shaggoth got their hands on a brain. I think it was a human brain. It's either a human brain or an old one brain, and they all shared the information, the genetic information between them on how to make a brain. They got real intelligent, and they destroyed the old ones in an uprising. But they were still there in that city, frozen, because they couldn't escape. It's a good little book. Haven't read it in a long time. But what was the one that had Call of Cthulhu? That's what I was talking about. There was on YouTube, there was a fan-made Call of Cthulhu that was really good. It was black and white, modern silent film, but it was like you were back in the day. And you see, and it's done in the same style as King Kong.
Yeah, well, there's
like
a whole,
Kong.
like, what are they called? The Lovecraft Society or something like that?
Yeah.
And it's like a whole group of people that are like artists and stuff. And they have there's a nice website and everything like that. And they make short films based on his stories, but they make them as though they were made when Lovecraft was still alive, like in a 1930s style.
Yeah.
And they're really cool.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
The Call of Cthulhu was silent. It's got music, but it's a silent movie. And when Cthulhu shows up, he's basically as described in the book, but he's stop motion, claymation type creature, kind of like King Kong. And I would say he's bigger than King Kong too. He's out in the ocean. It's a good movie. You can see it for free on YouTube.
Mackie Mac says the sci-fi horror movie The Endless, I think that is based on Lovecraft. Yes, it is. That is based on Lovecraftian lore. I don't think I've reviewed that, but that's actually a really good movie. Illuminated Pro says thoughts on The Substance. I loved that movie.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was great. We actually ended up seeing it twice, kind of.
Yeah, great flick.
Which we explained like when we reviewed it a
Yeah.
while back, but because we saw it in the
wild.
theater. But yeah, like I said, I love fucking just audacious
just came out of nowhere towards
shit
the end.
like that.
Yeah, like okay, yeah, this is how we're going now. Okay.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Some people didn't like it. They thought it was too much. They're like, it's a little. I was like, nah, man, fucking go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Lean into that
And
crazy.
I thought she did a great job.
I mean, Demi Moore
Demi
and
Moore, yeah.
Margaret Qualley were fucking great
Yeah.
in that.
And Demi did a lot of nude scenes in it. And she looked good for her age. You know, she wasn't happy with it. She was trying to get better looking. You know, try to look younger.
And she's
That's why she
actually
took-
older than she was supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah,
in the movie, she was supposed to be turning 50.
Yeah.
But in real life, she's like 61 or
She's like
62.
60, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, she still looks good.
She does, yeah, and especially
For that age?
for as naked as she is in this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's naked through half the movie.
She, pretty much. I mean, yeah.
So
And
is the other girl.
unsentimentally naked. They're
No.
like just like
In a stark environment.
close up, like in
Yeah.
horrible stark lighting and
Stark
shit like
lighting
that.
in the bathroom and shit. She's trying to do surgery and weird shit on herself to get this fucking substance to work. To
Yeah.
flick.
Definitely I think it was my second favorite movie that we saw, horror movie that we saw this year. The first is still Late Night with the Devil. I loved that, but
Yeah.
like The Substance is way up there.
Yeah, and then the Heretic.
And then Heretic,
the Heretic.
is up there too. Like
Yeah.
that's definitely top 5.
Yeah, what was funny is that was all classic actors in the Heretic. Not some, Late Night with the Devil wasn't, but boy, they fucking brought it, didn't they? Demi Moore brought it back, and then
Yeah.
fucking Hugh, what's his name? Hugh Downs, is that his name?
No.
What's his name?
Well, now you confuse me. Hold on.
Okay,
Just
what's that guy's
stop
name?
talking for a second.
That fucker's name.
Stop talking for a second.
Yeah, to me that was like a really fucking awesome comeback movie. 'Cause I
Yeah.
hadn't seen that dude in a long time, and he just fucking blows it
Yeah.
out of the water in a horror movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his name, but
I thought his name was Hugh.
it is, but I can't think of his last name right now. I gotta pee anyway.
You guys are gonna know.
Yeah.
We're gonna go shut the show down and get something to eat anyway in a bit.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah. There you go.
I thought that's what I said.
No, you didn't.
What did I say?
You said Hugh something else.
Hugh something.
You said Hugh Downs.
Downs. Yeah, that's right. Hugh Grant. That's right. If you haven't seen the Heretic, yeah, see it. It's fucking weird, but it's good. The writing's really good. About these two Mormon girls knocking on doors, trying to spread the Mormon faith, and they run into this guy who's a Christian mythicist. But they don't know what he is. He just keeps asking them about religion, and the whole house is a fucking trap. And it's got a lot of tense moments in it. And once the girls come in the house, they can't get out. The doors are all rigged. He can. It's good, and he's religious, but not in the way that you think he is. And he just slowly explains what he's doing. And in that house, there are other girls. He's using them as oracles, and he kills them. And keeps them captive. And shit. It's good. It's a good flick. And the girls get out. One of the things I liked about it is that the movie is fucking treats the Mormon characters with a lot of respect. They show that how they were getting picked on for their beliefs, But pretty much all the religious beliefs are kind of fucking hokey.
Yeah.
And it turned out the girls actually had a lot of virtue. They, especially the one that survived the longest. She came up with a lot of good stuff. So they were kind of the heroes of the movie. Evidently, there was a lot of buzz in the Mormon community. They were watching it. It's like
yeah.
And earlier in some of the shows, I said that Christianity is fucking should be and religion in general, but Christianity should be just ripe for horror. But most people can't do it. Christians can't do it because they have a message they're trying to spread, and that's going to get in the way of the movie, with a very few exceptions. And I would say this one, even though it's not Christian, but
it's not Christian, it's not atheist either.
Yeah, you just got to watch it for yourself.
It's not really pushing a particular message, I don't think.
The one that was, I would say, Christian was the Bill Paxton horror movie about Frailty. Yeah, that was really good.
That's Christian horror done right.
Yeah, if you're gonna do Christian horror,
do it like that.
Do it like that.
That's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, it's about a dude going out killing people, and his sons are watching him, and he's bringing them back in. They're all tied up, and they're like, "Dad, what are you gonna do with her?" And I know she looks normal, but that is not a normal. That is a demon. And fucking. And he starts killing them, and the boys don't know what to do, and the shit. And it turns out in the end, they were demons.
Yeah, he was right.
Yeah, he was right.
Because you think for a long time that he's just like a serial killer. Like,
yeah, you think he's a serial killer.
But no, he's correct.
He's correct. They were demons. Yeah, it's a fucking great movie.
But yeah, it was like a good, but like ballsy.
Real ballsy.
Yeah, I liked it. CB said, "What time is it there?" It's 2:30 a.m. here. 9:41 p.m. Yeah, I was gonna say when we were talking about movies, I think now keep in mind that I haven't seen Nosferatu yet, so I'm sure this will change. But I think, from just off the top of my head, I think my top 5 horror movies this year have been Late Night with the Devil, number 1, Substance, Heretic, Cuckoo, and Oddity. I think those are my top 5. But like I said, I haven't seen Nosferatu yet. And I think there's still like a couple other movies. Oh, Strange Darling was really good too. Although that's kind of more of a thriller. But still, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I might do a video at the end of the year, which I don't usually do. Like for my top 10 movies of the year. But we'll see if I have time to do it. But, Case and Lee said, I think every movie with the words bloody, horror, and similar in the titles are not worth watching. No Terrifier 3. I like Terrifier 3. I don't know if I would put it in my top 5, though.
It was entertaining. But,
Yeah.
But the writing isn't as good as, say, like, in fucking Heretic.
Yeah, because, look, I love gore movies.
Yeah.
But if, like, my favorite movies tend to be more psychological horror or, like, haunted house kind of stuff or something like that. But I do like gore movies too, like if I'm in the right mood.
I like it when there's like occult and philosophical meat to the story, and Heretic has that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that like a lot more than I thought.
You can learn stuff from it.
Yeah.
And because a lot of the movie is him giving you a lesson on religion.
Yeah.
And telling stories. It's fucking really, it's bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there have been some great fucking flicks came out this year, to be honest.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah,
he used to be a heartthrob fucking back in the 90s, the 80s.
He was in all those like rom-coms.
Yeah, rom-coms and shit. Just
like the kind of rakish,
British
rogue
dude. He was also kind of a bumbling kind of guy sometimes.
Yeah, that too.
Kind of bumbling.
Like that was kind of like his brand, you know.
Right.
Like I feel like he was like that. And he's charming, you know what I mean? He was kind of charming. Like he always played that kind of.
And this one he comes across as like very intellectual and sinister. In a certain way, but he's being real friendly, but you don't buy it.
But see, that's why I like that they even when I saw the trailer, I was like, that was a genius move, like using him because they're using his persona against, and I like when they do that because they're kind of like priming the audience for you to see him a certain way, and then they're like kind of trying to like undercut it a little bit, and I think they did a good job of that. And he's great in this fucking movie. He's really
it's an awesome movie.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Like it's as good as The Substance, just very different.
I mean, The Substance was just like a ballsy, like visual feast for the sense, and it was just like balls to the wall and crazy. Whereas Heretic was kind of more like, it's kind of all in one house. You know what I mean? And it's just like a lot of the tension comes from like just them talking.
Yeah, Kason saying substance sounds good. You'd like the substance. It's good.
Yeah.
It's weird. And it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go.
Which is what I liked about it.
Don't listen, don't read anything about the movie. Just see it.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of a big advocate of that anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to know what's going to happen.
I feel like most movies are better. I try to, like, sometimes I see trailers, obviously, because when we go to the movies and stuff, but I try not to even watch the trailer. I don't watch any reviews or anything like that. Honestly, I don't even really want to know what it's about, other than just the very, very broadest outline. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to watch, because, I just kind of want it to surprise me.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Jen, we ought to go and probably shut it down.
You want to go get a sandwich?
Yeah, let's get something to eat. My stomach's getting empty.
My stomach's getting empty.
Yeah, and I got all this damn alcohol in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to eat some Tums.
All right, so we're going to go down and get some sandwiches.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, put something on YouTube and watch and stuff like that. But we'll see. All right, so thanks everybody for hanging out with us this evening. It's always fun. Friday nights are my favorite. And and thanks for all your super chats. We'll be back on Monday. Probably do a Christmas horror. We'll see. We'll figure out. I gotta look through and see what ones we've done, so we don't repeat anything. But we'll come up with something. There's a lot of ones we haven't done, I imagine. And also remember that next Wednesday, our regular episode night, we're just gonna do another Sidetracks, like just a Christmas special type of thing. So we'll just talk about whatever. So that should be fun too. So yeah, have a good weekend, you guys, and we'll see you again for the movie review on Monday. Good night.